Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to another Wednesday Faction War stream. It's been a while, it's been a couple weeks. Had need to take a break last week because of a work commitment, so I was away and couldn't really do any stream. But this week we're back with another midweek Faction Wars, a good casual scrap. Of course, we don't exactly have any rules about the army composition, so players are still free to bring out ultra competitive builds. But the idea is to have a relatively casual setting where players can just troll if they want to. Of course, at the risk of running into a try-hard opponent. But, well, this is not a specifically meme tourney, so this is the risk if you try to meme. But yeah, if you know your opponent and feel like they're gonna meme, then you're also it's also comfortable to meme. You how? Alright, Siggles. Yeah, you RNG did screw you up a bit. I think VP is still. I think it's still. VP it still has a pretty good chance against Tzeentch, I think, if you get enough Carronates. Well, not Carronates, but maybe it's a bit finicky for sure. Even the healing crabs are gonna face a bit of a tough challenge to survive all that fire damage. But anyways, I'm sure you sickos, you have some ways to figure this out against Tzeentch. You have the skills. Just try hard, mate. Try hard. But yeah. Hello, Hayseed, and thanks for giving me the invitation code. I think your opponent is in the Nightcrawler Discord, but I'm not sure where he is right now. Oh, well, we can wait a bit, I suppose. But yeah, man, this week. I know this week there's a bunch of news about the DLC, but man, C has just been drip feeding us all bit by bit about the new stuff, like the High Elf. I still haven't checked the High Elf stuff, but is there? I did check out the new Siege thingy a bit, but yeah, I still have no idea when the next DLC is coming, so. I'm just distracted by other games currently. One of them, I don't think anyone would expect this, but I'm a bit into horse racing now. Yeah. Anyways, before we go too far off the deep end on weebiness and shit, yeah. Let me just quickly contact General Grievous or AA Spotify here. Oh, right. Look, it looks like he is in as well. All right. Cool. We should. Oh, he's going Khorne today, huh? Oh, this is gonna be a scrap for sure. It's a chaos civil war, but let's see if if the Warriors of Chaos are going into the Khorne route out of all things, or are they going to be a bit more tricky with various missiles, magic, and that sort. But yeah, Khorne is gonna go Unga Bunga as always. Or maybe they can kite with double skull cannon. Actually, did I limit skull cannon to one only? No, I did not. So yeah. They can bring double skull cannons. Possible. Oh, cool. Good. Thanks for getting that sorted. I'm just chilling here and watching in the army selection screen and try not to spoil anything for everyone else. Yeah, let's just see what happens here. It's been a couple weeks since I last played, so I might be a bit rusty, but yeah, let's see what happens. General Spotify is already good to go. That was a quick army selection, but I guess if you're a Khorne, you don't have that much army variety anyways. So that makes army selection a bit faster, but we shall see what happens here. Yeah, I'm still not gonna talk about the army builds yet, cause looks like both sides have final. Oh wait, no, Spotify is still chilling. Still contemplating last bit of expenses while Hayseed is ready. Right, some final adjustments, it seems. Oh, General Spotify is contemplating hard. Yeah, what would I do if I'm a Warriors of Chaos? In this matchup, I'll probably be very wary about Karanak, because that if he pops out, then there goes a good chunk of my spellcasting ability, unless I try to run the hell away. But looks like Warriors of Chaos is going for a bit of a blobby build here. 3 chosen of great weapons, and 1 chosen the... I forgot the name of these. Regiment of Renown, Halberd, Chosens. Hold on. What's the name? The Slaughter God. Wait, Slaughter God on both sides, holy shit! Slaughter God Duke out. I'm surprised Khorne didn't bring any of their Bloodwake Berserkers, but yeah, their elite unit. But yeah, Slaughter Gods on both sides looks like they are just gonna go wow and go Unga Bunga on each other. Especially we have the biggest of bonks, biggest of Unga Bunga among the Warriors of Chaos here. Yes, we have Kolak Sun Eater and his Star Crusher Mace. Well, not mace, but hammer. But yeah, you get what I mean. A line of chosen with great weapons and marauders. Only one marauders though. 3 chosens with great weapons indeed, and 1 slaughter god, backed up by a bunch of skirmishers, marauder horsemen, 4 of them in fact, and 1 more Chaos Warhound. There is indeed a healer, Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle here. Providing Curse of Leper and Stream of Corruption, no healing. I am surprised. Is that a mistake or is that intentional? We shall see, because Kolak Sanita, a big, chunky, meaty lord with a lot of HP, would benefit a lot from those healing, but seems like he is not gonna go in with any healing support. We shall see what happens here on the other side for Khorne. 4 Chaos Furies to counter enemy skirmishers, a line of Murders of Khorne here, because all the money went into the monster here. A Slaughter Brute ready to just crush some poor... Well, I really like how they have like this pin on the back that controls him. Looks pretty cool as a concept. But yeah, ready to trample some infantry, plus 2 Minotools of Khorne here. These might be their key on taking down Kolak Sun Eater. Leading the army is a Chaos Lord of Khorne. He is quite a sturdy lord with a fight or die to buff, melee attack, and of course Slaughter Guard at the back, providing 1 single elite anchor of the army build. Anyways, Marauders are clashing into other Marauders and Chosens. They're gonna get annihilated by the Chosens, but yeah, the back there, Furies are diving down, trying to get these Marauder Horsemen. And some of the Marauder Horsemen are squeezing through the gaps of the enemy infantry frontline, but there are some Minotools of Khorne placed right behind. And that means they're being pinned between Rock and Hard plays, the Rock being some Chaos Furies, and the Hard plays is the Minotools of Khorne here. Immediately annihilating them as the Furies recharge them, while the Minotools of Khorne slaughters them from the front. Looks like all 4 units of Marauder Horsemen has been taken out, or severely damaged at least. While the Warriors of Chaos chosen front line is absolutely crushing those Marauders. No questions asked. While Kolak Sun Eater pummeling that poor Slaughter Brute in the front. And he only just activated the Star Crusher to get those damage boosts. And already, within the first 2 minutes, roughly a minute of the engagement, the Slaughter Brute already got 75% of its HP gone, knocked out. Really needs those Minos over here to try and take down Kolak. And looks like the Slaughter Brute is 1 hit away from death. Oh, looks like he managed to block that hit. But a follow-up from Kolak here slays that mighty beast. Though Khorne is up on balance of power though, as the Chosen fighting the Minos plus Marauders of Khorne seems to be taking quite a bit of damage, while Kolak got, for a moment there, got stuck in a bunch of Slaughter Guard and absolutely got slaughtered in the process. And also the loss of all 4 Marauder Horsemen is taking a huge toll on that balance of power for the Warriors of Chaos here. They have to take down, without the missiles, that means they have to take down the Minos in melee, but Minos plus Marauders are enough to take down the chosen unit, and there are more Minos lying around, and a lot more Marauders to provide some more meat shields. But where was... What the fuck up? Oh, I might need to save and replay this, rewatch this replay. Because I'm not sure what happened to those Warriors of Chaos, Slaughter God. But it seems like they got slaughtered in the process. The Chosen, they are slowly marching over to provide some melee support for Kolak, but Kolak, surrounded by Minos, is not having a good time at all. And after killing the Slaughter Brood, there's no good target for him. Unless he gets some infantry support and starts smacking enemy Minos. But at the same time, the Chaos Lord of Khorne is on a Juggernaut, so that means he has armor-piercing damage values. And he's putting in some hurt on Kolak. And Kolak is a bit distracted by Minos, not exactly hitting too much HP of the Chaos Lord of Khorne. So yeah, looks like things are going in Khorne's favor as Kolak has been surrounded and slowly poked down by those Minos, who taken quite a lot of damage. Both of them are very tattered, but seems like Kolak is slain, leaving only the Chosens in the fight. And without any healing, not bringing healing might have been the biggest mistake here for this Warriors of Chaos build here. Kolak was not able to recover from those HP losses, and yeah, the Khorne Slaughter Guard here managed to pull out a victory in the end, with the Chaos Lord of Khorne slaying Kolak in the process. And of course, the Slaughter Guard doing a lot of anti-large damage too. Yeah, losing those Marauder Horsemen like that was a big loss for the Warriors of Chaos early game. The slip in micro was unfortunately putting the Warriors of Chaos army in a big disadvantage. And that is going to be GG here. A very quick battle. I don't think the Warriors of Chaos have what it takes to bring this one back. Or maybe I might be proven wrong. The Chosens are still holding on. I mean, they're Chosen, so they're quite tough and hard to crack. But the problem is they lost their Lord, and they're fighting against a lot of units here, including a recruit Minotaur, ready to deliver some rear charge at them. I almost wonder if a Halberd unit would have been better here, considering how much they need to fight against Minos and stuff. What happened to the Slaughter Guard? I need to check. But yeah, the Warriors of Chaos Slaughter Guard, they got a lot of values either ways. Oh, maybe they got stomped by the Slaughter Brute. But yeah, Chosens did alright, but two of them didn't really earn back their value. Close, but not really. One of them did, but Kolak slain the Slaughter Brute. But unfortunately, fighting surrounded by a bunch of Minos, that was a big pain in the ass for him to deal with. And also, of course, losing the Marauder Horseman was not great at all. Yeah. That's why sometimes I advocate using the skirmish mode, where you can just throw them to the flanks and let them just keep running, and they would just keep running and running and running until they skirmish down on their pursuers, while still having some ammo to spare, since these are just Furies. But yeah, on the other side, Khorne did great with the Minos, and Slaughter Brute did meh. Of course, he's a punching bag of Kolak, but he occupied the attention of Kolak while the Minos did the work. And the Chaos Lord of Khorne did finish the job against Kolak, and got some good value. The Furies didn't earn back their value, but they did what they had to do, which is take out those Marauder Horsemen and make sure they don't come back and start firing away, because that is the biggest threat of these Minos. The Minos have 70 armor, which is not exactly the best to protect them against javelins. But yeah, that is the GG for Hayseed and General Spotify. I need to check the front line and see what happened to the Slaughter Guard, because I didn't really pay attention to them. I was a bit absorbed in the Marauder Horseman and then Kolak beating up the Slaughter Brood. Alright. The Warriors of Chaos. Slaughter Guard marching in. Start chopping on those Marauders. Oh, they didn't get a charge on the Slaughter Guard, and they got stomped by. Indeed, they got stomped by the Slaughter Brood a bit there. allowing the Slaughter Brute to get some value, and also that put them in a disadvantage. Oh, and on top of that, Horn of Khorne, giving the Khorne Slaughter Guard that edge in melee over the Warriors of Chaos Slaughter Guard, allowing them to have 79 at melee attack, which consistently overpowers the 63 melee defense of the Warriors of Chaos Slaughter Guard, of the Undivided Slaughter Guard. And you can see, after the damage from the Slaughter Brute and the Horn of Khorne melee buff, the Khorne Slaughter Guard were able to overpower the Chaos Undivided Slaughter Guard. And the Chosen's on the flanks, well, these ones won, but this one had to fight Minos and Marauders, which is not great. They're not really designed specifically to kill large troops. So, yeah. Khorne Mino is always a very threatening piece. My monster was the bit I was betting on his lord to go for him and not my lord. And plus fight or die. Oh, the fight or die, I forgot about that. Yeah, the fight or die definitely helped as well. Using up the green Slaughter Guard against the red Slaughter Guard. I totally forgot about that. And then the Horn of Khorne. Yeah, that means that is a very prolonged period of 24 plus melee attack. That's like, what, a whole minute of melee attack buff? Probably more. But yeah, roughly a minute maybe? I forgot the exact duration of the ability. Hold on. Can we check it? Yeah, hold on a second. 18 seconds. So that's like half a minute of melee attack buff. More than half a minute of melee attack buff. Which looks like is enough to turn the tide. And yeah, that is gonna be this game. We still have one more round, one battle between Rusto and Ninja, and then we can move on to the second round, where we will be playing ourselves. But yeah, let me just check. Yep, looks like we have quite a few replays already. Let me just download them. There we go. Yep, just waiting for Ninja and Rusto. I think they are done as well. No, they're still on. Alright, cool. Let me just organize the replay and see if we have time to quickly sneak in a game. We might, actually. This might be a quick one, considering how small the file is. We'll try to be quick here. Okay, on one side, Tzeentch is going with the Changeling. That is a meme pick for sure. A Cultist of Tzeentch, which provides some fire magic support. Oh, synergizing with a lot of firepower here. 10 whole horrors, 5 pink, and 5 blue. 2 more Tzeentch Knights with sword and shield, and 1 Screamers, the Shrieking Skyrays with that explosion ability. Yeah. Leading the army is Changeling, transforming into a Live and Gnaw. So a lot of firepower on the field today. On the other side, for the Vampire deck and mob in the front line, a bunch of handgunners at the back, trying to outrange the blue horrors, I see. And more gunnery mobs on the flanks. Yeah, so a lot of gunnery mobs. Most of them are handgunners, and some of them are pistols. Animated Hulks, and yeah, just a lot of firepower. Night Terrors, which we are seeing them a lot more often these days. Looks like the Lamprey's Revenge is already getting picked off by Live and Gnaw from afar. Leading the army is a Vampire Fleet Admiral with pole arms Lore of Vampires for the healing. And already you can see the blue horrors annihilating those zombies in the front line there. A bunch of gun crabs, the rotting Promethean gunnery mobs, quickly dashing in, trying to close in the distance and start dragging those blue horrors into a fight. But oh, it looks like a burning hand at back line there, burning some handgunners, but not exactly killing them just yet. So they're still sitting back and firing. Yeah, it looks like it is indeed an uphill battle with for the Vampirates here. Their zombie pirate deckhand mob frontline is got heavily. Oh, a little bit of mistake here from Tzeentch, pushing the Shrieking Skyrays a little too close to the front line. And the pirate gunnery mob, the handgun mobs, immediately deleted them from existence. Though the animated hulks and the gun crabs are struggling to break through the blue horrors for now. Looks like they don't really have what it takes to immediately knock down these demons of Tzeentch. getting a bit stuck on the chaff there. Knight Terrors fighting against Chaos Knights, not exactly their forte since they're more of an anti-infantry troops, and they're a bit stuck in this engagement with animated hooks providing support. Pistol mobs are moving in from the flanks, and there have been some zombie summons in the back line, including a Vampire Fleet Admiral jumping in to just disrupt the pink horrors. But yeah, right now the blue horrors are slowly going down though. Seems like there is a bit of progress with the Vampirates beating up those blue horror front line, and the pink horrors, not every one of them are safely sitting back and firing. Now the gun crabs have finished off the first line of blue horrors, putting their sights onto the second line, the pink horrors now. And there's still a good chunk of their handgun mobs at the back there, ready to fire, turn around and shoot down units nearby, like these Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, immediately getting focus fired by a bunch of handgun mobs. Some pistol mobs on the far side have been bogging them down with animated hulks, but blue horrors have finished up all their ammo, so they're moving into melee. But at the same time, the pink horrors, most of them have been compromised, leaving only one unit still free to fire. The Vampirates are indeed making some very good progress. The Knight Terrors receiving an invocation of the Heck, plus their own innate healing with the Hunger. They are outgrinding those Chaos Knights of Tzeentch here with the help of the animated hooks. So Vampires should be able to win that flank fight soon. Yep, the Chaos Knights have been routed, and at the same time the pink horrors have been just disrupted, unable to really work down the enemy troops there. They have focused a lot of fire onto the enemy zombies, and not really enough onto the gun crabs. So the gun crabs are still kicking, especially the Lamprey's Revenge is slowly healing, very slowly, because they might just get lit on fire at some point. But yeah, with the Knights, wait, where did the second, one Knight got knocked out by the Knight Terrors and Animate Hulk. The other got absolutely pincushioned by a bunch of bullets there. And yeah, they're actually shattered. They're actually shattered by the sheer amount of handgun fire. It looks like the slow and steady approach of gun crabs, sheer amount of bullets and bodies managed to help the Vampirates take this one home. As there's only one pink horse still left on the field. There's not enough melee units to intercept the rush of the Vampire Coast there. And Changeling, or Elivana in this instance, didn't really do a whole lot. Managed to earn back some value, picking off some rotting Prometheans, I assume. But the handguns being held back away from the blue horrors, while just leaving the regular mobs, and including pistol mobs, to just go and rush and try and deal with the blue horrors alongside some gun crabs with their heavy armor. Seems to be quite effective in this instance, dropping in some zombie summons as well to disrupt the enemy pink horror back line. And the Vampires managed to pull out a win in this case here. The sheer amount of firepower is very noticeable on the Tzeentch side. Unfortunately, they don't have the safe environment to use everything up from a distance. Yeah, Chaos Knights got some good damage on this one, the other not so much. And I think this is the one on the right flank, which we're trying to fight some animated hulks, and but didn't really do a whole lot there. Anna Shrieking Skyrays unfortunately got straight too close to a bunch of handguns and got absolutely deleted. Who are you playing as, Leech? I am playing as the Chaos Dwarfs because I want to use some of the Hobgobble bolt throwers. And I am playing against Pasha. Ah, shite. Shite! This is gonna be a Kislev battle too. Oh, perfect. They just sent me the lobby code, so I'm just gonna go and head over there and play my games. Okay, I think I got this right this time. Yep, that's fine. All right. We know what Pasha's probably gonna bring here, so yeah, I'm just gonna bring a metal caster. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Scarlets of Blood and Darkness. Let's don't bother about the yeah, let's don't bother about the Scarlets. I mean, just don't bother about the passive here. Searing Doom and Final Transmutation. That's what I'm gonna bring. And then I am gonna bring a few Hobgoblin Bolt Throwers. A line of something. This might be a scenario to warrant Sneaky Gits. We are on 20 ground, so there should be some, not a lot, but some space for Vanguard deployment, and I don't really know, man. We will need a couple Bull Center Renders, and then we're out of money already. Damn it. Okay, let's just cut out some of the Sneaky Gits. Just bring some Cutthroats to the front line. Just to hold the line, getting some more numbers, and yeah. And just get some more numbers in the line so that we don't immediately collapse. We got some cheap missiles. Not great, but let's see what it can do. Sneaky Gits, maybe. Hopefully we can use it to jump the enemy backline. But that's quite a bit of wishful thinking, not gonna lie. Let's see what happens here. Do I want Lama? Let's take Lamasu. Because it has that mini silence aura in case we can send something to balk the enemy down. And yeah. Skirmishers, we are out of space, but still with some money left. Just not enough for the sorcerer, yeah, just not exactly enough for the Bale Taurus here. But if I... Yeah, we now have enough money. And with some left, with a tiny bit left, not sure for what though. Alright, I'll just bring these, and yeah, that's done. That's us. Not much we can do here, I don't think. Ready to go. The whole idea is just to sit back, shoot with the bolt throwers, and maybe jump the enemy backline with the Cutthroats. I am quite worried about. I'm quite worried about the. Yeah, I don't think I want to bother about the Lamasu because it's so freaking glass cannony. But yeah, yeah, I'm not quite sure how to kill the enemy, like fort. But I'm betting that I'm trying to bet on the Yeah, I'm trying to bet on his army pig being a more single entity centric build. If that's the case, then we'll have a good decent chance. I don't think both throwers are good against anything that is hard to deal with Kislev. Sneaky Git rush might work. Yeah, I got a couple Sneaky Git, but I wanted the thing is I want to try out the bolt throwers, which is why I have them there. I know they're not gonna be optimal, but sometimes you just gonna have to risk it. Yeah. I mean, I just want to try them out, so yeah. It's a conundrum here. I know chances are I'm gonna get screwed big time if I bring them, but if I don't, I'm just gonna be sad. 300 gold for... Wait, hold on. Yeah, we can do that, and then... I guess I'll get at metal shifting, because we have the extra change, so why not? Yeah, we're good. Fair enough. Yeah. I know it's not optimal. I know it's far from optimal bringing both throwers here. But I just want to try them out and see what happens. Unlike the Blood Knights of Vampire Counts, yeah, they're not gonna be exactly good here. The Blood Knights of the Vampire Counts did amazing, even against cavalry. But yeah, we shall see. Yeah, let's hope for the success for these sneaky gits. I'm just gonna abandon those artillery at the back there, and just let them sit back and shoot. I know that's probably not gonna make them look good, but I don't want to bother defending artillery against Kislev. If they send a bunch of Griffin Legion to kill my bolt throwers, so be it. At least I got them occupied for a while. Alright, looks like we're going in. Alrighty. Alright, 20 grounds. I forgot that's quite extensively. Oh, sneaky git. Where can the sneaky gits go? Like the flank, maybe? That's probably their best bet, and then try to sneak up on the main formation. Alright, bolt throwers, I don't even have a good firing arc for them, so I'll just have to dump them around the map, actually. Probably picked the wrong map to test out this army, damn it! Oh well. Mistakes might have been made, but we'll try our best to make the most out of it. Okay. As always, the Lord is probably gonna be our best bet. You wanna keep sneaky gits near bull senties? Actually, that's definitely a good idea. Bull senties, I am just gonna throw them on the flank. Alright. Both of us probably not gonna do a whole lot here, but we shall see. Ready and good luck, have fun. Alright. I'll keep one on each flank. Actually, one at the back here. Oh god. Alright, let's just start shooting then. That's huh. Interesting. Yeah, let's just not bother about protecting the back line with sneaky gits. I mean the hobgoblins. That's not gonna work. Shoot that, and they're not going with a. They're not going with a. Interesting. So they have decided to switch their tactics up a bit. Yeah, we'll just leave them keep shooting at light war sleds. Not that they have anything better to shoot at anyways. Well, there she is. Of course, that's the terror-causing piece. We'll send our sneaky gits over. Yeah, we can send them over to start skirmishing them down. Peel back some of our troops and start moving our units over there. They can shoot my infantry all they want. I don't really care. These are just hobgoblins and go. Just a bunch of hobgobbles. Who cares, right? Huh. They're doing work. Oh, let's pull them back a bit. And we're not landing just yet. We don't wanna. They're not charging? Alright, let's just start pushing. Alright, let's pull back. Let's pull back these bull sender renders who are all obviously way too deep. And try to do a bit of breath attack over on this side. Okay, one of the bull sender renders got. Oh wow, okay, that's a lot of things over there on that side. And we are still a bit away from a final transmutation. Okay, we'll wait a bit there. Front line got collapsed, which is not great. Alright, yeah, you guys can go and fight that, actually. You guys can pull back over there. And we will go and try and fight these guys on the ground. A lot of units are faltering, but yeah, we'll try to pull this one back. We have a chance. Okay, let's just bog down those war sleds while we're at it. Alright, that's a lot of stuff coming in. We do have the capture point, which is good news. But Hailstorm is coming. Blizzard is gonna delete those guys. I need that final transmutation right about now. I've got nothing to bail out the Saucer Prophet though. Alright, just dump everything I have in here. I don't really care anymore. Just kill everything in there. I need to do as much damage as possible. There might be a healing coming in. That's a big problem too. Alright, there's the healing. Let me just quickly go and burn down some of that. Alright. We do have the capture point. Now we just need to delay it long enough. Which is, we still have a good 5 minutes to delay, which is a lot of time. Shit. Alright, time to fly away. Come on. You can get out. Get out of there. Thank you. Oh god. You got slowed. Oh god. There's more stuff coming in. Can you get out? Run! Run away! Alright, stop firing. Alright, start kiting, I guess. Not much I can do here. Maybe try to save up for another final transmutation. That would be good. What else are there for me? Run away! Run away! Alright, just keep firing. Oh, damn, that was a bit mistake. A big one, too. Yeah, the bolt throwers are suboptimal. Or maybe I'm just using them poorly, but either ways. I don't think they are a good damage source, really. Come on. Kill the... Kill the ice witch. Stop turning around. Why are you facing your opponent with your butt? Alright, run. Damn it, they got the capture point. Yeah, I did misuse of both center renders there pretty badly too. I definitely should have kept a tighter formation and just not bring the bolt throwers. Those were not great, to say the least. Oh, looks like there comes oh, you guys run. Just run away. I need 90 seconds. That's a minute. I don't have enough time for the overcast. Alright, just fly away then. Fly away. Alright, we have some time. Okay, final transmutation, and I hope there is the fire damage. Yep, just cut down their healing a bit. That would be very nice. And final transmutation, try to drain down everything in the vicinity. But I don't think that's enough damage. It's almost over with the spell. Yeah, I need a little bit more oomph there, which is not quite enough. That was close. Yeah, but I think that might be army losses, leaving only the skirmishers and my lord around. Can I at least kill the ice witch? I need one more hit, damn it. No, that's not gonna be army losses. The sorcerer lord and ice witch will have a Turk off instead of fighting. Exactly, god damn it. You want... Round 2, Chaos Dwarfs versus Kislevites. Alright, that was relatively close considering how I blundered my both center renders and brought the bolt throwers. Yeah, the both center renders went in a bit too deep there and just got jumped on by everything, literally everything. In kind of elemental of beast, things in the woods, yeah. And took a ton of damage. And just basically died before they can do too much. The other both center did a bit better, but still, they're also overwhelmed a bit. Just having too much stuff to fight. The kind of elemental of beast ice witch doesn't join in with Griffin Legion and things in the woods supporting. And the hobgoblins and gobbles obviously didn't do a whole lot here, being outclassed everywhere they go, except when I mean, they tried to fight. They did some okay damage against the Kislevite warriors, but yeah. My hobgoblin wolf raiders are actually the most useful hobgoblins. on the field, and 5,000 damage from all those final transmutations and breath attacks. Oh, Phoenix King, welcome, welcome. This has been indeed. Yeah, that is gonna be GG and a victory to my opponent. With as usual, the Kislevite. Let's see, the Kislevite, Ice Witch, Incarnate, and Patriarch healing build. Alright, next up, High Elves. Can we bring another bolt thrower? Actually, I don't think I want to use bolt thrower again. They are not great, not gonna lie. Yeah. So, we are fighting against Rosto's High Elves. Maybe. Okay, if we're not playing with bolt throwers, at least we want to do. At least I want to do a gobble heavy army. So we are just gonna go gobble main today. Top gobble main. Well, actually, let me just quickly organize those replays. Oh, we still have some time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that is the one I haven't downloaded. But alright, got those replays ready. Alright, ready to go. Let's set up our lobby. But yeah, considering how we blundered the Great Weapon Bull Center Renders, that was still a relatively close fight. I think if I held those Blue Center Renders back for more carefully and spend money on something that's worth their weight instead of the bolt throwers, I think we have a much better chance there. Don't worry, High Elves have even worse BT. I think High Elves bolt throwers are fine on their roster because they don't have any other artillery. Like, if you want something to counter enemy artillery, bolt throwers is something that is actually decent. Although, to be fair, for Chaos Dwarfs, they also don't have any good anti-artillery tool. So bolt throwers actually bolt throwers isn't that bad on a Chaos Dwarf roster. Because they don't have any, as I just mentioned, they don't have any good anti-artillery tool. Nah? They're crap. Okay, fine. Fair. Fair. I'll just not bring them then. Chaos Dwarfs. What should I do? I want to bring more, I want to bring more gobbles though. So but there's gobbles can't deal with a shield wall. Damn it. Maybe I can Burning Head. Hold on. Yeah, I can try to bring a Burning Head. But what? There's also a problem where they might bring a cavalry heavy army. The High Elves ones, not sure about the Chaos Dwarfs ones. To be fair, I didn't really have a good chance to use them in the last game. They did some good damage to the Light War Sled, but that's about it. Yeah. Oh, wait. Double Hell Cannon. Let's go. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, it's all coming together. Double Hell Cannon, Bull Center Render once again. I need to redeem myself. With my shitter micro last time. Yeah, and just bring a bunch of Path. Yeah. I think that's about right. Spirit Leech and Fate of Bruna. That Shallots off. Yep, there we go. We're ready. Just waiting for my opponent Rusto to show up. Yeah. Are they AFK for now? Alright, let me just set the map as well. Elven Chaos Waste. So, okay, that is an open map. We can actually use artillery here. Double Hell Cannon. It's been a while since I used this build. As in, it's been a while since I actually used double Hell Cannons. It's never been a meta thing, but I think it would do well in against enemy spears and archers. The question is, do I have enough time to use up the ammo and all? Alright. We're waiting for our opponent now. Actually, ironically, I think wait, yeah, there's a better artillery than Eagle Club Bolt Throwers in the High Elf roster. That is called a Livanar. That is probably a better anti-artillery tool than an actual, well, anti-artillery artillery. Not really? Oh well. Anti-artillery as high is pretty much don't take units that die to artillery. Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense too. That makes sense. I mean, other than they don't really have anything to shoot enemy artillery, so oh wait, can they bring is bringing Phoenix to disrupt it as a thing though? It's been a while since I played High Elf, so yeah. I'm not too sure. Yeah, we are just gonna bring double Hell Cannon. Even if there's yeah, even if okay, hold on. Let me think. Let me do that. Yeah. Even if there's a cavalry heavy army, they can probably try to shoot with their tracking missiles and do some damage. It's not gonna be great, to be honest, but it's not exactly all over, even if that's a kite High Elf army, I don't think. And then we just try to Spirit Legion Field doing important things. To death. Just keep our Bull Center Renders all the way at the back, and let the Gobbles die. Oh well, that is indeed a kite army. Oh god. Alright, let's just move our troops over to that side and try to screen. Reavers, that's a lot of archers, and let's turn around and start firing. We need to keep screening. Alright, now cannons, please actually hit something. Thank you. Alright, pull back, pull back, pull back. Don't. Alright, you go and stand there. Wait, what are they doing? Oh, they're squeezing forward. Alright, whatever. Good chunk of them got hit by the flaming tornado. Oh well. Too bad for you. Alright, they want to jump that. I'll have to throw in our own troops to jump them then. There's healing here, so I can't exactly use my, alright. Let's just drop on the ground. Oh, they decided to run away. Alright. That Hell Cannon is still on, which is good news. Should it Imric? And you guys come over here and just chip away at Imric. Don't care. Don't care. And artillery one down. God damn it! Got squeezed in. Okay, where's the other Bull Center Render unit? Why are you there? Alright, keep just hunting him. Just annoying him. And drop down. Alright, we are getting out-kited pretty heavily on all over the place. Just keep firing, killed that. And there it goes, some healing for the guy. Actually turn off the fire at will. You stop firing at will as well. still have some assets on the ground. And we're slowly getting those victory tickets, I guess. It's something. Not great, but something. Got our bull center renders back here. And hammer those white lions. Alright, time to bring you down on the ground, actually. Hellcannon, that Hellcannon is still firing. Good. So what do you want to do with Imric now, huh? Alright. Got our troops over here. And, keep draining them. Alright, we're getting squeezed in. That's not great. That's a very kitey army. I am not equipped enough to deal with this. And I don't think the Hellcannon is going to survive the barrage of archers. I can't even fly up. Damn. Yeah, somehow it's still firing. Okay. What? Why can't I hit them? Yeah. Alright, hit that. Alright, Hellcannon, just keep firing. I forgot to turn that on, actually. Some pretty nasty damage we're eating there, unfortunately. Once again, we'll have to try and, oh, damn, these guys are stuck. These guys are completely stuck in the middle of a bunch of, white lions. Alright, let's keep fighting. Keep fighting on. And try and crack Imric, but that is tough. That is tough indeed. Mostly SEMs and Reaver kite stuff. Ah, yep, that is indeed what's happening here. Got pretty hard kited by Reavers, and yeah, I don't have a lot to fight back with. Actually, that makes sense, because the High Elf infantry can't fight against Infernal Iron Guards. So, if I want to fight against this build, I probably need a bunch of archers. Oh, max archers maybe? Max archers or, Does blunderbusses and rockets? No, I can't really blunderbuss Reavers. That doesn't sound like a good idea. Yep, that looks like that's army losses. GG. How do I... Okay, actually, let me just concede defeat first, because watching the Hellcannon crew fight to death is not a fun ordeal. GG to my opponent there. Looks like the kiting was too much for my play here. Hellcannons got very limited value against enemy cavalry. Especially a lot of them kind of concentrated on one side and rushed me. More bull centers? Oh, actually that definitely is. What do you think about Kadai Fireborn? Because maybe their mass and armor can help against Reavers and archers. Oh no, they only have 80 armor, so it's not like they are that durable against archers. That build was wild. Yeah, don't think I've seen Omen of Assyrian much on the field. Double Arcane Phoenix too, so like they did quite a bit of damage with the Vortex. And then Imrik is just a menace wherever he goes with healing support. So that was a very menacing single entity spam. With 3 of the most expensive single entities on the High Elf roster. Well, the Phoenix are not exactly the most expensive, but close enough. And yeah, just very minimal infantry that is just gonna start pushing my infantry instead. And my infantry is definitely outclassed by White Lions for sure. And the Hell Cannons are a bit too occupied shooting at enemy cavalry. Unfortunately, they didn't earn back much of their worth. Just mostly shooting at cavalry, which is not exactly their optimal target. And also, one of them got knocked out quite early. Being one flank being overloaded, and archers, Reaver archers were able to close in and shower that artillery model to death. Yeah, okay, that is it for this round 3 of my run. And we'll have round 4 up next. Nope, looks like we have we still have some games ongoing, so I'm gonna quickly go ahead and cast some games right now. At the back end there. We've seen that one. That was round 2. Wait, hold on. Yeah, we played that. Alright, we haven't seen these yet. Yeah, we haven't seen this yet, so let's jump in. Because we are looking at Trollhammer torpedoes today. I haven't seen these guys in a while. I think I just haven't seen Dwarfs in a while. As it is not exactly a popular casual gameplay faction. Also, we're seeing Ungrim Iron Fist, the Slayer King, supported by Ruden Smith. 4 warriors of the Dodawi, supported by a bunch of missiles here. Coilers, 3 coilers, 2 Trollhammer torpedoes, and 3 Dwarf cannons. Wait, where's the other Troll? Yeah, 2 Trollhammer torpedoes, plus a couple brimstone guns in the skies. Leading the army there, Ungrim Iron Fist and Rune Smith with Rune of Wrath and Rune of Negation. So no speed limitation here. And instead just trying to make the army a bit more durable and whittle down the enemies with AoE damage. Now on the other side for the Greenskin, this is a grudge match for sure. Orc boys in the front line with some Night Goblin fanatics on the flanks, ready to throw in some crazy spins to run over those poor Dowie armored formation. There is a very elite Crimson Killers in the center, but immediately getting targeted by those artillery. And also the Black Orcs at the back as well. With great weapons, they're like the best target for the Great Cannons right now. No, not a lot of large targets for them to shoot at. While at the back there, Brimstone guns are moving in. They definitely have dropped some bombs. Yeah, they dropped their bombs, deleting one of the Orc air boys when there are still the rest of the airs shooting in, whittling them down with that armor sundering missile. Minus 30 armor, making them a bit more susceptible to regular missile damage as well. So one of the gyrocopters is down to half health. That is quite concerning. This early stage of the game. Is that Foot of Gork? It's coming in. Foot of Gork stomping some. Wow, that's kind of underwhelming. Shit. Only knocking out 25% of HP on 2 of the Dwarf Warriors units, unfortunately, as the actual center of impact is mostly empty. But yeah, now the Orc boys are moving in, clashing into Dwarf Warriors there, and there are 4 whole Squig Herd units jumping into the enemy missile backline with all the investment into cannons, Iron Drakes, and those Coralers. That means they have a very limited numbers to provide a sturdy box here. A lot of gaps in the defense perimeter, you can see. Oh wow, Grimgar and Hyde yodeling himself straight into the enemy's backline, but unfortunately that means he is surrounded by enemies. Being distracted by regular dwarves, and Grim were able to take him out from the flank here, and now he's gonna chase down Grimgar Ironhide. Although Grim has taken some damage in the process of engagement as well, but Greenskin rush is going okay. A lot of the dwarf missile assets have been compromised, unable to sit back and just shoot. Although the Black Orcs have been routed already this early in the game. Wire has been popped, so everything on the Greenskin side is getting a bit of a damage buff. Although, unfortunately, Grimgor is not going to enjoy that as he is being chased out. Rusty Ears has been burned down by a bunch of Brimstone Guns because they are indeed flamethrowers, and Rusty Ears still don't have exactly the sturdiest leadership, being a Greenskin Gobble. So the Brimstone Guns managed to barely survive this, but if there's any Greenskins able to shoot at them, they're probably gonna get taken down soon. Anyways, back to the front line. Their balance of power is edging back into the middle there, as more and more of the Dwarfs missile units are being pushed back. There are Orc Boys dragging Crawlers into melee, Crimson Killers just thriving in this kind of surrounded melee combat, although not having a lot of damage value because they're just hacking apart some Dwarf Warriors. Now they're moving on to cannons. And Squidhurst slamming in from the flanks there, cleaning up those Dwarf flank assets, getting way more than they're actually worth at that point. Yeah, Rune of Wrath and Ruin doesn't really do much against the Squigs because they have lower model count, and probably would be better to drop it onto the Nat Gobbles, especially when they're blobbed up. Over here, Grimgor and Ungrim. Grim versus Grim. Round 2. It looks like this time Ungrim has been surrounded by Crimson Killers, a lot of elite Black Orcs, and also the 8-Pig Loonies as well. He might be unbreakable, but that doesn't mean he can't die. So Grimgor plus his boys helping out there. Definitely not a fair fight if you ask me. Another Foot of Gork, and doing a little bit of damage onto these Dwarf Warriors. But anyways, and Grim goes down as he is completely surrounded by all kinds of Greenskins. Elite and not elite. But still, all of them Regiment of Renown or a Legendary Hero. Yeah, Squidhurts are now just... Yeah, I think that is going to be it there, as Ungrim goes down and all the Dwarf assets have been compromised. Squigs are thriving here though. Yeah, they are indeed. Not about style, not about it's about style, not about damage, indeed. Primers are even pretty common now. I haven't seen Dwarves that much, which is why I haven't seen them. Which is probably why I haven't seen Trollhammers that much either. But yeah. That means we'll probably see more Trollhammers in the next few rounds of replays. But anyways, looks like the Greenskins, Grimgor managed to make a comeback with the help of his boys, and Squigs really carrying the game. They're getting 1,200 gold worth of damage value. Yeah, Dwarfs unfortunately spending way too much in the missile department and not really enough to protect the backline assets. Not enough melee units. Only 5 of them versus 10 whole melee units. 10? No, that's more than 10 actually. Yeah, that's 12 whole melee units. Which means even if the Dwarf Warriors are fighting 1 melee unit each, there's still 7 more that they need to stop. And obviously they couldn't stop them all, and the Squidhurts managed to just clean up the enemy archers. Not archers, Crawlers. And Trollhammers. And securing the win for the Greenskins with the Wah. Brimstone Guns get some meh damage, since they were just mostly chasing after enemy archers. Alright, we are moving into round 4. Last round now, and also our 3rd game in the series. Alright, Scottish Toast. Let's see if we can at least get 1 win in this series. Alright, we're fighting against Lizard Boys. Alright, we're fighting against Lizard Boys, so that might justify... That actually might justify both throwers. But honestly, do I really need them? We shall see here. And some sneaky gets to deal with skinks. And blunderbusses to deal with monsters. And we're going a bit of a melee rush here. Oh. I think we have army caps on, so we can't bring 5. We can't bring 5 of the blunderbusses. Well, whatever. Hobgoblin Sneaky gets to deal with skinks, and then... Astrogolf Iron Hand? Yeah, let's just bring a Sorcerer Prophet of Metal. Searing Doom and Final Transmutation as usual. We don't really need the metal shifting since most of our damage are coming from the blunderbusses and whatnot. Some long range pressure and something to provide. Oh, we need a little bit more money there. Remove that. Remove that, and then we have enough money for one more sneaky git. And hopefully they can take care of the skinks for us. Actually, you know what, remove that, and we need one more 100. Let's just bring in Lamasu. Whatever. And then we can bring that, and one more sneaky git. 5 gold left, and almost a full 20 stack army. With armor piercing and a bunch of skirmishing as well. The real question is, how are we gonna deal with Colt 1 cavalry spam? We can't. That's what's gonna happen. Oh, that reminds me, maybe I want to switch over to Spirit Legion Fate of Buna then. And we're out 100 gold. Alright, Hobgoblin Cutthroat it is. There we go. Once again testing those bolt throwers and see what happens. Hope for the best here. Oh, okay. Maybe we can leave the goblin laborers to guard the back line and just send the sneaky gits in the front line. Alright, whatever. We'll just test it out. Alright, Toothgrass Hill. Let's just leave these ones at the back. And blunderbusses, you're my second line of infantry, if anything. We'll pretend we have no front line other than gobbles, and just kind of leave my sneaky gits in the front, a little bit further ahead. You see, this is a very brainsy move, yeah. So if my opponent sees this, he will assume that my front line is a bunch of goblin laborers and this hobgoblin cutthroat. But the real front line is actually this. This is a separate front line in the front there. I'm ready to jump on the unsuspecting skinks. Oh man, sometimes I am frightened by my own ingenuity. No, just kidding. I don't even know if that's gonna be anything useful here, but hey, whatever. And then we have a few lines of blunderbusses at the back there with the bolt throwers ready to shoot some dinos. Looks like our opponent is ready. Just let me quickly send a good luck, have fun to them. And then we're good to go. Oh, actually, I need to group these guys up first. Alright, let's go. Oh god, why are there so many flyers? Oh god! Alright, whatever. Do they have a... Yeah, okay, that's... yeah, we can start draining them down then. They're not gonna like this. Alright, so for leeching, and we have a lot of missiles on the field as well. Yay, come back. Start shooting, boys. Oh, no, no, you don't want to do that. Bro, what are you doing? No! What are you doing? Alright, we land. No, what are you doing? Don't send your projectiles in like that. No! What are you doing? I know it doesn't look like I have a lot of backline assets to protect anything, but no, what are you... Oh, whoa, whoa, what happened? Oh, we got shot. And chased. Alright, just pull back. And maybe friendly fire too. And yeah, whoa, whoa, whoa. Man. I'm sorry, but you kind of walked yourself into that. Alright, yeah, okay. We can walk up with our backline there. Can we stop poking them down? Yes, we can. Let's just move up some of our assets. Let's just move up some of our assets and maybe leave some of them in standby, and we have a lot of missiles actually. Send some of them up as well. Alright, shoot that. Alright, turn around and shoot that, please. And shoot that since they have their side exposed. Alright, start deleting them, and then I think we got this. Poke them, turn around, shoot that. Pure leech that, and yeah, I think that's pretty much done. Alright, go and chase that, and you guys move in to help that one out. Turn around, shoot him, and yeah, just go and stop him from casting spells. You got silence. You can deal with that. Alright, go and charge that. I think we're pretty much done. Yep. Yep. I think he's silenced. I can't really see it. Because theoretically, this is a silencing. And this is a silencing beast with a silencing aura. My left flank is a bit buckling because of the pterodactyl, but Pterodon, not pterodactyl, pterodon. But I think we're good. Yeah, done. Hello, David. Welcome back. But yeah, that was a bit rough. If my opponent could have been a bit more patient with the projectiles and pterodons, things might have been a lot different. Especially, the pterodons dropped their rocks on my. The pterodons dropped their rocks on my. Yeah, dropped their rocks on my wolf raiders. That's probably why they took so much damage in the start, but probably would be better to reserve those rock drops on my blunderbusses. Those are very threatening. Yeah, that is gonna be GG here. At least we got one win out of this 20. But yeah, definitely need to rethink our strategy with Chaos Dwarfs a bit there in certain matchups. Yeah, I mean, not much else to say here. The blunderbusses did most of the work, just deleting the projectiles. And the Hobgoblin bolt throwers are just steady DPS against larger targets. Not a whole lot of large targets per se, but yeah, that was pretty smooth ride. Thanks to the blunderbusses. And of course my opponent picking an optimal Lord choice there. Putting himself at a handicap. Which I respect. Tic-tac-toe. It's not exactly a meta thing to play with, but yeah, it can be fun sometimes to bring out the Lizardmen Air Squad. But yeah, that is gonna be our run of today's 20. That's all 3 of our games, because we did have a bye round in the round 1. Now let us move into the replay first before we conclude the 20, because looks like we do have a winner for this this week's 20. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna say who yet, but yeah, we're just gonna start casting for now. Vampire Tzeentch and just off Kislev. Wait, did I not cast something yet? Seen that? Seen. Wait, hold on. Did I miss something from round 1? I swear there should be 5 battles in round 1. I only count 4 so far. So that means I must have missed something, or maybe somebody missed their submission. No, never mind. I think I've got everything. Yeah. Oh, I think I know what I'm missing. Hold on. Oh yeah, this might be the one. Okay. Let's see. Wait, hold on. Looks like I'm missing something. Right, I'm definitely missing something here. Sorry. Let me just quickly recheck. Wait, where's the Lizardmen versus Dowie replay? I swear I put it in today. Oh, that's a file, and not a replay file. Okay. I think it just had. Oh, okay, I think it just had a wrong file name. Give me a second. Yep, there we go. You can see that now. I think it just misses a dot at the end, which means the file name was kind of incorrect. The format was not correct with the file name. So now we fixed it. Scottish Toast with Lizardmen. Oh wait, hold on. I think we might have a different replay that is also missing as well. Yep, Lizardmen versus Kislev in a different round. Round 1 maybe actually. All right, we'll cast that later. But right now, Lizardmen versus Dowie, a line of red crested skins and well, just a lot of red crested and wait, is that? Oh, Lord Croak, double Furrow Connoisseur, and 1 more Bastillodon Solar Engine, and Nikai the Wanderer. Is that actually... That might... I mean, nobody really made any didn't raise the issue, so I assume everyone was happy about the outcome of the battle and does not wish to replay the battle, so I'm not gonna mention anything. But I'm just gonna quickly check it. Can you bring yeah, does this work as the solar engine is, yeah, it might be counted as a rare single entity, which you're limited to 3 only. So Nakai is also a rare single entity. So in Fruit Rules, rare single entities are limited to 3 only. And what counts as rare single entities in this instance? Bastillodon Solar Engine, both of the Connoisseur, the Gelbloom's Terror, and Burrow Connoisseur. Nakai the Wanderer is a rare single entity, and Lord Croak is definitely a rare single entity as well, being a Slan. So that is 5 rare single entities, and that is not allowed in Fruit Rules. So if wait, hold on. If Scottish Toast, if you're watching this stream right now, just like this is just a casual 20, so it's nothing not something you have to be too worried about. But it would be great if it would be more fair of a battle if this rule set is followed. You can see the Fruit Rules in the tournament description. There's a link to the Fruit rule set, and if you look into the unit limits, you can see in the page of the Lizardmen which of the units are being marked as a rare single entity, which is limited to 3 at most. So Nakai Wanderer plus 2 Connoisseur plus Bastillodon plus Lost Croak is 5 rare single entities, and that is above the Fruit Rules limit. Normally you can't really do that in tournament settings, but it's just a casual one, so it's not a big deal. Hold on. So yeah. Just keep that in mind in the future games. Anyways, on the other side for the Dowie, once again very gun heavy formation. Cannons at the back there with double Iron Drake Trollhammer Torpedo, a bunch of Crawlers, the front line of, well, more Crawlers, and minus blasting charges, Dwarf Warriors, very similar build to the last time. Rock drops have already happened at one of the cannons, but not really knocking out any of them. But I'm surprised the Crawlers are not turning around to shoot at them. But yeah, rock drops knocking out two cannon model here, knocking out none of the cannon model here, as most of the rocks are just hitting that crew. But that crew got knocked out, and the Pterodons are just sitting there and shooting. On the other side, though, the once again 2 more gyrocopters, but they're firing at the dinos, and that is definitely not an efficient use of the brimstone guns. They are a flamethrower, and they're an anti-infantry tool, and also don't forget they're weak against armor, so not a whole lot of damage can get through that armor defenses of these heavy dinos. Most of the damage are coming in from the cannons instead of the brimstone guns, so you're wasting a lot of ammo onto the heavily armored single entities. But yeah, at the same time, the Pterodons have flocked onto the cannon crew at the back there. One of them has been knocked out, but also some of the cannon crews are out of commission. Finally, Crawlers have turned around to shoot at the Pterodons, knocking 2 of them out. One more is being chopped by Ungrim Iron Fist. So the Lizardmen, noticing that their Air Force is mostly knocked out, they decided to engage their melee troops, but at the same time, as they closes in on the enemy formation, they are immediately welcomed by some explosive charges. Well, it looks like there is a deliverance of pizza, but unfortunately it was cast on a moving target, and the miners were able to move out of the ability range. So not a whole lot of damage onto the miners there. Though the Red Crested Skinks are definitely doing some good work, immediately cleaning up the Crawlers here. Dinos are charging in, but they are crossfired by a bunch of Iron Drake. Scalploom's Terror is already down to half health. More Crawlers at the back are firing, and the cannons are being rearmed and resuming their fire. Red Crested are cleaning up the enemy infantry with the Terror help from the Dinos here, and Nakai the Wanderer, terrorizing the poor Dwarf Warriors in the front line. This is a level 1 or 2 deliverance of pizza, looks like, and it should be doing some decent work against the Quarrelers. Yeah, Supreme Shield of the old ones, 40% damage resistance from the Lord Croak's upgraded version of not really upgrade, but like yeah, it's the Shield of the old ones deluxe, if anything. And Nakai is pushed into the back line as well, but the Red Crested Skinks are faltering. They have cleaved apart a bunch of Dwarf warriors under enemy fire, and they're not exactly a sturdy infantry themselves, and have been taking some attrition damage over time. I think that is going to be it for the Lizardmen, as a lot of their units are running out of steam. And the Solar Engine has just been sitting back, not really doing what they need, and that is to shoot the enemy infantry formation. Not shoot the enemy gyros. The gyros, if they're just focusing on the Bastiladon, let them, because it takes them the whole game of 5 minutes, and they're still not able to kill the Bastiladon. And that is with cannon help for a good chunk of their time. But yeah, the Dawi managed to hold their back line mostly intact. We're gonna fast forward here. As the Lizardmen requested in the front line has basically been attrition, grind down to dust, even if they have a pretty good offensive output. And yeah, looks like Lord Croak has been knocked out by the cannons, as he is a slun and he's very slow, quite fragile compared to other dinos, and a really good target for cannonballs. And a Viral Carnosaur, unfortunately, just... You wouldn't want to bring Carnosaurs against Dwarves, as they're an anti-large monster. Yeah, you'd rather just bring some Bastiladon. They are also a dino that can push through enemy formation, has anti-infantry armor piercing, just works out more cost efficiently than a Viral Carnosaur, which is quite expensive, especially the Regiment of Renown version. Yep, just a pretty quick battle here. This time the Dwarves were able to hold the line because there's a lot less units for them to deal with, and their artillery are quite effective against dinos in general. Alright, that is it for this one. We do have a Lizardman versus Kislev, so let me just clean up some plays we've watched, and then yeah. Yeah, we watched that, and then we've seen that ourselves. Okay, Lizardman, Kislev, we haven't seen that. We've seen that. A slow and steady line of bullets. That was what it was. Okay, let me just quickly check whether all the rounds are finished, because I do want to make an announcement on Discord. And as the live games are all done, alright, so excuse me for a sec, let me do some tournament admin. And hold on. I'm just trying to check some stuff here. That is my game. Right. Let's see. Okay, cool. Alright. Now we can cast a replace. Lizardmen versus Kislev next up. Classify classic anti. I hate versus Pasha. His kite builds with Kislev so painful. I think that is just the pain of Khorne in general. I've seen a lot of kite builds against Khorne, unfortunately. And it's not only specifically against Kislev, but I think I'm gonna play Kislev next week so that we can see Pasha playing a different faction maybe. Because I think I've just seen him play Kislev every week with a similar build, and yeah. I would love to see a bit more variety from his factions and see what other factions would he like to play. That would be fun to see. But yeah, anyways, now let's check the army belts this week. Gain cohorts of. Oh, actually, let me just catch up with the chat. Yeah. Lizardmen against Dwarfs is a matchup I find really interesting, but I just never see. Hasty had a fun one where Nicola shit talked my Lizardmen built the entire time until it won. Oh, that would be an interesting. That would be a funny thing to watch. I might actually check out that stream later too. Alright. One suffers from their own success. You pretty much have to kite them. That is true. That is true. It's hard to fight them straight up, especially when there's a Karanak stopping you from using abilities and stuff. But yeah, especially with the Bloodwake Berserkers, oof, that's some nasty stuff to fight head on. You might just want to kite them down. But anyways, Lizardmen build here, front line of Skin Cohort with some Skin Cohort of Javis at the back there. A bunch of Khorne Spear Riders protecting the flank, and a couple Furrow Carnosaurs. And in the sky, King Priest of Beast with Flock of Doom, and then the classic. Oh, it's also Tic-Tac-Toe. Looks like Scottish Toes really taking a liking into the Lizardmen Air Force, as there are also 3 more Pterodon Riders on the far corner. Now, for the Kislevite here, 3 Horse Archers, line of Armored Corsairs, some extra Kislevite Warriors on the flanks. They're protecting Streltsies with more Kislevite Warriors at the back, Kosovo Dervishes, and 1 Akshina Ambusher in the center. That is a regiment of renowned Wolfhearts. Leading the army is an Ice Witch of Tempest with only Blizzard to delete expensive blobs, but expensive blobs also includes cavalry, by the way. And that's it for the army built here. Now we are moving into fast forward, as the Lizardmen are just kiting and skirmishing down some of the Skink Priests with the Flock of Doom trying to drain down the Horse Archers there. Probably might want to leave it for the enemy infantry. Oh no, Pterodon Riders getting a little too close to enemy formation and immediately getting netted by the Wolfheart's unique net ability. So the rest of the Pterodon Riders will be moving in just to drop some rocks on the Streltsies, but they do have to be careful as they're putting themselves into enemy firing distance. Oh, the Wolfhearts are absolutely annihilating them. Yeah. And the Khorne Spear Riders are kind of being forgotten here. If you're pushing up your mobility assets on one side, you need to keep those other assets constantly moving as well. Like, your Pterodon Riders are taking damage, but they're also drawing fire away from the other parts of the battlefield. So these Skin Cohorts could have marched forward with not a lot of threat against them right now. Your opponent will have the attention on the Pterodon Riders instead of your front line. So it would be a very important opportunity for your units to march forward, but alas, that is gonna be in the end of the Pterodons here, as they're being shredded with those Streltsy fire being sent all over to the white line. Considering how close they are deployed to the edge of the map, they are very easy to get routed off the map. And yeah, at the same time, the damage they're taking doesn't really whether it's worth it. It's very hard to say it's worth it, because the army isn't benefiting from it much, other than maybe buying a few more seconds for them to capture the point and get some capture tickets, victory tickets. But yeah, Skink Priest is trying to dive those Horse Archers. That was very ballsy as a move, and that might put him into a very precarious situation. All the Horse Archers have been just kiting him. shooting him in the face point blank with no repercussions whatsoever. That's oh, and then the Armored Cuirassiers follow up as well. Yeah, that Skin Priest is not having a good time whatsoever. Although that did lure out the Ice Witch Tempest into the front line, leading to a Cold One Rider countercharge. But unfortunately, that means the Cold One Riders have been lobbed up around that Ice Witch Tempest Frostworm. And a Blizzard immediately deleting 2 units of these Cold One Riders. That was a very, very painful loss there. 2 whole units of Cold One Riders just gone in an instant. Only the Goblin Terrors remain, and yeah, that is a heavy loss. And Balance of Power is already in the Kislevite's favor. There are some skirmishing on the far side. Their Khorne Riders picking off some Kislevite Dervishes. Skins finally being activated, but it might be too little too late there. Goblin's Terror being completely surrounded by enemies here. Kislevite Dervishes and those Kislevite Warriors. Hacking down this for this expensive regiment of renowned Connoisseur. A second Connoisseur jumps in and takes a chunk out of the Ice Witch of Tempest, but she might be able to get out just fine because all the horses and Kislevite warriors in the distance, in the vicinity, will be able to screen out the Feral Connoisseur. Kings are trying to engage, but they would have a hard time breaking through Armored Cuirassiers. Khorne Spear Riders are in there to help, and one of them is breaking some Kislevite Dervishes. Tic-Tac-Toe though, taking a lot of damage from the Overwatch fire, down to half health already, and yikes, the Khorne Spear Riders, because they're engaging enemy Armored Cuirassiers, they have their backs exposed to Streltsies who are just shooting them from the rear. And they're down half health, and Kislevite Warriors are also jumping in, surrounding them, pinning them in this melee engagement. They are very, pretty much stuck, and unfortunately won't be able to pull out of there. And yeah, some point blank fire onto Tic-Tac-Toe as well, just trying to finish off this Lizardman Lord. Most of the Lizardmen troops has been pushed back, leaving only some skinks still in the fight, and skinks being skinks, they can't really turn this battle around, and that shall be GG here. Army losses occurs, and that shall be victory for the Kislevite. What I mean, his build is painful because he only plays Kite with the same build, no rush build or something else. But hey, if it works, don't fix it. Yeah, for sure. But unfortunately, like on purely a viewing perspective, seeing the same thing again and again every week is kind of boring. So I would love to see something different from him. But yeah. Oh well, I can't really control what build everyone brings unless I specifically states the build requirement. So maybe the only way to put him off a Kislev build is to have somebody pick Kislev before him. For Lizards though, yeah, for sure. It's very hard. Yeah, unfortunately it's not exactly an optimal build, and Scottish Toast definitely can learn a thing or two from other multiplayer gameplay with how to coordinate an assault. Yeah, I'm sure the Lizardmen would fare a lot better if, while the Pterodon Riders were being shot at in the early game, those Skin Cohorts and Khorne Riders can close in during that time. That will put a lot more pressure on the Kislev, while when the Pterodon Riders are finally being shot down, and the Streltsies are able to turn around to shoot at other things. But yeah, it is what it is. Everyone goes through this phase, and it takes some time to learn for sure. But yeah, that is going to be GG here. And that is a fun Lizardman build. You don't see Tic-Tac-Toe every day for sure. Yeah. Next up, we have Tzeentch versus High Elves. We've seen that one. We've played that one. We can delete that actually. Tzeentch versus High Elves, round 2. Tzeentch going with a Forsaken Rush with 2 Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, 2 Doom Knights, one of them the Knights of Immolation, and one more Chaos Fury. Leading the army is a Herald of Tzeentch and High Elves with Tyrion leading the army and a Metal Caster. You don't need a healer when Tyrion is on the field. He has his own healing. Metal Caster coming with Plague of Rust and Searing Doom. A line of... Oh, that is that's basically a Rohirrim build, isn't it? Illyrian Reaver Archers and 1 Swordmaster hiding in the tree line. The rest of everything is actually pretty much a cavalry here. 4 units of Silver Helms. 2 of them with shields, 2 of them without Fireball, providing that anti-large armor piercing. 4 Illyrian Reavers, Tyrion, Metalcaster, and just 1 lone infantry Swordmaster is hiding in the back, waiting for their time to shine in the late game. And yeah, Tyrion immediately jumps onto those Forsaken as the Illyrian Reaver archers are raining fire onto the Forsaken there. Also Tyrion himself unleashing that Sun Fang. And yeah, doing some really good work here. Not really trying to fight the Forsaken melee at all. And then the Silverhelms jumps in, doing some impact damage on the charge. Knights of Immolation are diving down in a counter charge there with a Plague of Rust from the Herald team to a Metal Magic here, dropping their armor, allowing the Knights of Immolation not having a whole lot of armor piercing to do a little bit better here. They do have anti-large, so that really helps. But the other more threatening target here, the 5-1, are jumping in. Plague of Rust onto the Chaos Knights of Tzeentch, dropping their armor, and then Silverhelms counter-charging with Illyrian Reaver archers firing in, immediately knocking out a huge chunk of their HP bar, really whittling them down with that non-armor piercing attack. While on the other side here, Searing Doom onto the Chaos Knights of Tzeentch and Forsaken as they counter-charge and knock out the Silverhelms there. Searing Doom knocking out their shield only, but nothing else. So not a whole lot of work done from that metal spell. But overall, it's really hard to say who has the upper hand here, because it's a lot of back and forth. Both sides had some win, and both sides have some losses. Over here, Illyrian Reaver archers, noticing that they can't really run away from the Furies forever, decided to counter-charge and try and take them out. But then Chaos Knights of Tzeentch comes in. Oh, they are the ones with lances, so they have extra charge bonus as well, and doing some really good damage on impact with the Knights of Immolation trying to seal the deal. But here comes the Fireborn. They got some good damage done already so far, and they're gonna do even more in this charge, trying to pin down the Doom Knights. And yeah, but yeah, there is a Plague of Rust here trying to fight back against the 5-1. A Searing Doom from the High Elves. They're bombarding those Forsaken and Furies, while as the Fireborn try to retreat, they unfortunately got countercharged by the Knights of Immolation and Forsaken jumping in, quickly hacking down their HP bar. They mostly rely on armor and yeah, they mostly rely on their armor in this game for their protection. Their physical resistance doesn't do anything against an army where everyone has magical damage. Yeah, it looks like a lot of the High Elves' mobility has been whittled down. While the Tzeentch army, thanks to their shield, have mitigated a lot of damage on impact, and a lot of spell damage as well. And it's outlasting the High Elf army, especially whenever they catch those Illyrian Reaver archers in melee, just dragging them down and bringing down their ammo with them. Fireborn, unfortunately, they are unable to get out of that. After they got caught by Knights of Immolation and Forsaken, they seem to struggle a lot from extracting themselves out of there. So yeah, they are pretty much on the verge of their death. Final Transmutation onto Tyrion, but it's not directly cast onto him. But still, great. He seems to have difficulties pulling out of that engagement, so he still takes full damage from the spell before he can run out of the area of effect. And it seems like Tzeentch is getting the upper hand here. More Searing Dooms, this time onto the blob of Tzeentch infantry here. As the Sword Masters of Oil. Oh no! That tier 2 Tzeentch army ability seems to have hit the tree line. The Bolt of Change hit the tree line instead of hitting the target. So the High Elf Metal Mage seems to survive a little longer, allowing Tyrion to come in and bail her out. And the Sword Masters are fighting their last stand, trying to cleave through any enemy infantry coming their way. But unfortunately, the Fireborn has been caught and has been worked down with nothing to heal them in this fight. So yeah, things are looking quite grim for the High Elves. Indeed, balance of power also says so. More Searing Dooms from the High Elf Mage, trying to whittle down the enemy infantry force with a Sunfang. But yeah, it looks like the Metal Mage is taking more damage after the Herald of Tzeentch dives in, and also probably some missile attacks from him as well. If Tyrion can proc that that Heart of Avalon heal lane, it might be a bit of a different story. Searing Doom once again into the blob, but it seems like it did quite a bit of damage onto Tyrion as well, as he was also surrounded by the Knights of Immolation. But the Knights of Immolation took a bunch of damage, and he is and they're on the verge of routing as well. Now the Illyrian Reaver archers, unfortunately, they have been caught being kind of neglected in the process, perhaps. Oh, looks like there has been a Heart of Avalon proc, and Tyrion is back to half health, but unfortunately that comes at the cost of Illyrian Reaver archers being worked down. Swordmasters of Hoev are still fighting a good fight, but they are still only an infantry, so they take a ton of damage whenever they get charged by cavalry. Turning them once again into the Doom Knights of Tzeentch here. Trying to thin out their HP bar, but oh, it looks like Tyrion is running out of health. He just used his Heart of Avalon not long ago. It has a 120-second cooldown, so it's not proccing just yet. It's still on cooldown, so he's not getting his heal anytime soon. And as a result, he has been routed, even slain, as the Doom Knights of Tzeentch with their anti-lodge slays him with some fire support from the Bolt of Change as well. And with the death of the High Elf Lord, seems like the Tzeentch army managed to secure a win here. Fun High Elf build, but bad map for sure. Unfortunately, the horses really struggle to perform in all the trees, which hampers their melee stats. And yeah, pretty good, really good damage from the Metal Mage though with those Searing Dooms, especially multiple casts onto those Doom Knights of Tzeentch there, whittling them down. But those Doom Knights did a lot of good work thanks to the support of that Plague of Rust, dropping their target's armor down and allowing them to take down stuff like Fireborn and Silver Helms, but mostly Fireborn really. As normally they wouldn't be able to do as well against the Fireborn, but yeah, they do have the armor debuffs help, so that negates a good chunk of the protection that the Fireborn relied on. Yes, bonus versus large now and more mass. Oh, more mass too. Wait, when did they get bonus versus large actually? I don't quite remember the patch. Because I remember when they first came out, they didn't have that. Yeah. Maybe I just haven't read the patch notes enough. Yeah, I didn't really read a lot of patch notes lately. They got a good versus large, but I don't remember them having that. Yeah. Oh, in this hotfix. Oh, that is definitely something new then. Yeah. As you can tell, I haven't been reading much of the patch notes lately, so yeah. Because I didn't really expect any big changes until the DLC. There's less motivation for me to read the patch notes if I'm just reading the same thing about the same changes about the campaign again. But yeah, I'm glad to see them getting a bit of love though, making them a lot more useful. They actually having an actual specific role instead of just a general flying cavalry unit. They can actually go and fight cavalry now, which is good. And with Plague of Rust, they can fight armored monsters and cavalry. Alright, next up we have did I miss anything? Yeah, we definitely missed something here. Khorne versus Vampire Coast. Khorne here going General Spotify. Going with a line of Khorne Marauders with the Bloodwake Berserkers and 4 more Furies, 2 Khorne Bulls, final source of Khorne with great weapons, Karanak for that silencing aura. That makes it a lot more dangerous for the Vampire Coast, as they do rely on quite a bit of the spellcasting ability, either summons or healing. Let's slow down a bit there. What else? Leading the army is once again, not a Kislev, is Arbol the Undefeated, ready to go on to fight some, riding Fleshhound, ready to defeat some enemy lord with his dueling prowess, the fighting power. What else weird? The ability wise, he has an Eye of Khorne, which triggers Chaos Spawn Summon and Fury of the Blood God for the explosion damage. Nothing else though, that's all. And for the other side of the... wait, hold on. Yeah, I think that's all. I don't think I missed anything? Yep. Yeah. Now for the Vampire Coast army, going for a very blob heavy build. Zombie Power Deck and Mob, quite a few of them in fact. Zombie Power Gunnery Mob with Bombers to clean up enemy infantry, but I doubt how good they are against the Bloodwake Berserkers. Double big crabs, double rotten leviathans, and one of them mounted by Balastra Deerfine. Yeah, that's French, so Deerfine. with Denizens of the Deep, the Crab summons, and Ghosts of the Past just coming in with a bunch of summons. But can she actually use it with Khorne on the field? We shall see. Bloated Corpse, 2 of them. Ready to blow up some Khorne infantry. Not a whole lot of expensive infantry, unfortunately, but we'll take what we get. Lamprey's Revenge and an additional caster for healing. Invocation of the Heck on the Vampire Fleet Captain here. Night Terrors, Regiment of Renown, Mongols, and some more deckhand mobs with polearms. That's it. Oh, gun crabs as well. That is gonna be it. Watching Leviathans leading the charge. Actually, they're just holding back a bit there. Perhaps they want to bit their time before they spring those bloated corpse onto the enemy formation. They might want to send them in early though, because if they jump in late, they might just explode on your own friendly troops. That would not be worth it. Alright, we have the first one jumping in, but that's gonna explode both the... Oh no. What did I do? Oh no! They're going back again into the Chaos Furies. What are you doing? No, don't do that. Just throw them in at the first second. But anyways, Rotting Leviathan is overextending quite a bit. Oh yeah, that deleted the zombie deckhand mobs and some of the marauders. But yeah, that was not great. The other bloated corpse is also moving up. They're trying to go after... not sure what, but yeah. The Rotting Leviathan being surrounded by Minos and Khorne, and the Arbodon defeats it. Absolutely getting slaughtered there, while Marauders are beating up zombies just fine. Oh, here comes the bloated corpse onto the Bloodwake Berserkers. This is a good chunk of damage, actually. Probably. Wait, is that a secret of defeating? Is that a secret of defeating these Bloodwake Berserkers? Just get 4 units of bloated corpses and throw it onto them. Maybe that's how. Those bloats are stressing me out. Yep, yeah, I can tell. But yeah, I guess that is not a... Those bloats have not done their worth here. Damn Knight Errant has been summoned onto the rear of the Khorne formation, but it might be a little too late. One of the Rotting Leviathan is almost knocked out. The bomber mobs are still dishing out some damage, and oh, the terror from the Damn Knight Errant is coming in handy, breaking those Marauders, but only the Marauders though. The Minos are still fighting with a good fight, with a Horn of Khorne boosting their attack and absolutely cleaving asunder everything in front of them. And yeah, the Lamprey's Revenge are not having a good time fighting Minos with great weapons, and Khorne is in the back line as well. Yeah, things are looking quite grim for the Vampire Coast. Bloated Seagulls. New meta tell you, yeah. Yeah, that looks like a new meta, just defeat the most OP unit in the game with bloated corpses. But yeah, Lamprey's Revenge. Oh no, not. Yeah, Lamprey's Revenge summon into the back. Oh wait, no, not Lamprey's Revenge summon. That's Rotting Denizens of the Deep summon. Rotting Promethean summons into the back. But that, I don't think that's a problem for the Khorne army right now. With Minos and a summoned unit of Spawns of Khorne here, taking the fight just fine. They're beating up some deckhand mobs and Night Terrors, and yeah. Obviously, unfortunately, the Vampire Coast can't out-Khorne Khorne in this regard. Going for a very melee heavy build, but unfortunately just getting beaten by a combination of Khorne Bulls and Bloodwake Berserkers, which pretty much is unstoppable right until now. Being an elite low model count infantry unit with immune to flanking too, which is a pretty ridiculous. And those Minos there getting some really good damage. Bloodwake Berserkers still having most of their models intact, and still got quite a lot of steam to give. As for the Vampire Coast here, the two big chunky crabs unfortunately didn't do too much here. And the Rotting Prometheans did some meh damage, not a whole lot. Probably most of the time damage coming from their guns. And the monsters did okay. I think this is... Wait. Which one's the one that... I think this is the one that that jumped on those Bloodwake Berserkers, because they have a little bit more value than the other bloated corpses, which only jumped on Marauders. So yeah. And also a lot of friendly fire from the unfortunate Slaughter Corps as well. Yeah. Arbo's still undefeated for sure. I tried to use him once, but I got defeated with him. That's more a problem of on my end instead of the problem of the unit, to be honest. Okay, I think we haven't seen this. Actually, let me just download the last few replay. I think I've got everything actually. Let me just check. Oh wait, I don't have everything. I missed out some of the replays. Hold on. Do I have Khorne versus VP round? Oh wait, we just saw Khorne versus VP round 2. Hold on. So that means hold on, I'm just trying to sort out the replays on my end. Give me a second. Greenskins versus Dark Elves, which is that? We haven't seen Tzeentch versus High Elves. We've seen Tzeentch versus High Elves, never mind. We've seen Khorne versus VP just now. And okay, we haven't seen. Okay, I haven't downloaded a bunch of replays from round 3. Give me a second. So I need to top that one off first. And change. Yeah, I think I've got everything now. I think. Alright, Greenskins versus Dark Elf next up. I don't think we've seen the Dark Elves in round 1. Ninja probably got a buy. No. Probably missed out on submitting the replay, maybe? Yeah, they probably have trouble saving the replay. I think that's what happened. Yeah. So, yeah, it's fine. Even if we don't have all the replays, it's fine. We have a lot of replays already. So, it's... Yeah. Don't stress too much about it if you were unable to get the replays. It would be great to see it, but yeah, we have enough replays for today's stream anyways. Now, for the army builds here, Greenskins versus Dark Elves. Greenskins going for a line of Orc Boys in the front, second line of Orc Era Boys, and Savage Orc Boar Boy Biggins, and Orc Boar Boys. Wait, Savage Orc Boar Boys? Yeah, Savage Orc Boar Boy Biggins, Broken Mob, and some AP Loonies on the flank. Orc Boar Boys on the left flank, going with a bit of a cheaper mobility, but still armor piercing. And leading the army is okay, Gorbat Ironclaw, supported by an Orc Shaman. Given how there's a chunk of good melee buffs on this guy, on both guys actually. Yeah. This would be a really nice synergy here. Oh, looks like Gorbat Ironclaw is going to be accompanying these expensive cavalry, trying to support them with his constant +10 melee attack and defense, the great leader buff there. And yeah, on the other side, for the Dark Elves, they're miraculously leading the army with Soul Stealer. And oh look, actually she has quite a few spell Melkoffs, Mystifying Miasma, one of Caridon, that's her ability, and Soul Stealer. Now for the main formation, Bleak Swords backed up by Dark Shards and some Witch Elves, ready to just slaughter some orcs, trying to outwah the Wah. Kane trying to outfight the Wah. Khorne Knights, a bunch of Khorne Knights, and some Reaper Bolt Throwers who are trying to fire at the enemy infantry formation, but the tree line is just gonna block it. Dark Shards are firing at the Orc Boys. Orc Boys do have shields and are relatively cheap compared to the rest of the army, so they don't really care. Orc Air Boys are closing in, trying to rain down some fire onto the Witch Elves. This would be very effective due to their high missile strength. They lack accuracy, but well, they'll make it up with just firing more volleys, I guess. So Harpies are diving down, trying to protect those Witch Elves from being shot by the Orc Air Boys. Also, Malkov's Mystifying Miasma. One of the Orc Air Boys has been dealt with, as the Bacon Cav are just a little bit too out of place to try and protect and reach them in time. Now the Savage Orc Barbarians are jumping onto the back of these Fleet Swords and absolutely cleaving them asunder. Okay, there's an Here We Go over here, juicing up those Orc Boys, but the Here We Go might have been way better to be used over here to just support these Savage Orc Barbarians and Broken Tusk Mob against the enemy Khorne Knights. Actually, there are two of them immediately collapsing those Broken Tusk Mob. AP Loonies are coming in to help, but this might be too little too late, as the Broken Tusk Mob has already been annihilated with very minimal damage in the process. But at least the AP Loonies dropping those spinning loons, coming in really clutch, nuking those poor Khorne Knights in the process because of those high damage. Witch Elves have probably used their Witch Brew ability. Nope, they still are holding on to that Witch Brew ability, although these ladies, oh, they use it, so they did some very minor damage only, though. They probably took a lot of damage from the archers and didn't do a whole lot against Savage or Barbarians. And yeah, the front line of Greenskins is mostly collapsed due to the Witch Elves just blending their way through the front line. But I think a good chunk of them are still holding on to the Witch Brew. Now these ladies popped it off and trying to cut through the Orc War Boys, but they're not exactly in a great melee engagement formation, so I don't think they were able to maximize the damage from that Witch Brew. But yeah, Khorne Knights, after that spinning loons, that was a very good cast of spinning loons right through those blopped up Khorne Knights. And those Khorne Knights have been mostly dispatched, but unfortunately the Greenskins are really running out of steam as well. Their infantry units are pretty much all that's left, and their mobility is severely damaged. Only this one has around 1/3 of HP, this one is half health, but will be sliced down by Witch Elves, and they're only a regular Orc War Boys, so they can't really do much against everything on the field. They don't have the kind of carrying power that the Khorne, that the Khorne Knights or the Orc Barbarians have. But yeah, Orc Boys are still fighting the good fight. AP Loonies are unbreakable, so they would just fight on forever until every single one of them dies. And but yeah, I don't know how the Greenskins can pull this one back. They don't have a lot of powerhouse units left. All they have are Orc Boys. And the buffs from the Orc Shaman doesn't mean anything if he has no units to buff. Oh, there's a Morgros Mangy Marauders that I missed. I don't think they did a whole lot though. They did some decent damage, just roaming around, whittling down enemies' HP. But yeah, the Soul Stealer is definitely taking a toll. And Melkos definitely taking a toll on the Greenskins army. They're still mustering another push though. Orc Barbarians converging with more Orc Boys and AP Loonies, but another Soul Stealer directly onto Gorbat Ironclaw. He is like most of the other Greenskins Lord. Having no access to healing makes him very fragile to direct damage spells, and it's just, he's basically on a timer, with a Roland of Caradon knocking like another chunk of his HP. Reaper Bolt Thrower is also firing at him pretty much point blank. So Gorbat Ironclaw is routed. This might lead to the rest. Oh, he's dead. Morathi taking him out with that last hit, and that might lead to just a chain rout over the entire army here. Orc Boys being shot back by those Dark Shards, leaving pretty much only the AP Loonies that doesn't have a flashing flag. Everything else is like flat. There's the Orc Shaman on the far side, but well, he can only do so much. So yeah, AP Looney is trying to do whatever he can, but I don't think he can pull this one back. I don't think they can pull this one back. Gorbat Ironclaw, definitely a great supporting lord, but he also didn't bring that many buffs in this game here. Only the Great Leader, and unfortunately that is not quite enough to turn the fight around against two Khorne Knights charging into those Broken Tusk Mob there, as the Broken Tusk Mob did not get the charge on the enemy, and instead being charged by the enemy anti-large armor-piercing cavalry, which else did alright. But yeah, mostly the Khornes taking a good, carrying a lot of the fights, and Morathi Soul Stealer killing Gorbat Anglo with those consistent direct damage. And so for the other side of Greenskins here, unfortunately the Orc Boar boys in general didn't earn back their worth. Yeah, the salvage Orc Boar Begins are quite expensive. I think they cost like 1,000 or a bit more. So yeah, they didn't earn back their worth. They did okay. They did okay. But they probably should have focused on a Koan Knight instead, maybe. Yeah, while the Orc Boys try to run down the enemy Dark Shot, maybe? I would love to see some Brain Bursta though, to whittle down the enemy front line there, especially against the Witch Elves. But the Orc, unfortunately the Orc Air Boys in this case, being harassed by RPs, and the frontline Orc Boys quickly breaking means that they don't have a lot of protection from those Witch Elves and got hunted to death. I like Arbold. I think you missed Greenskin and Tzeentch from round 3. Yeah, I think I plucked that gap now. Because I think I just didn't download a bunch of the round 3 replays. But I got them now. It's all fine. Looney's MVP 1,000. Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. 1,000 for the Savage Orc Boy Biggins. I like Arbold, but his 200 gold EX have 120 cooldown at the start of the game. Okay, yeah, that doesn't work great. Okay, next up. Let's not go into the Khorne versus Kislev right away. Yeah, let's go through some round 3 replays that I almost missed first. Alright, let's go with Hayseed, Warriors of Chaos versus Dowie here. Oh man, no, oh maybe I wanna bring back Aspiring Champions next week. Oh, what should I do? Should I play Kislev? Or should I play Aspiring Champions? Maybe I just go Aspiring Champions. It's been a while. Right. Hayseed going with Balakor, the Shadow Prince. With once again Chosen's on the line. Okay, a bunch of heavy armor Chaos Warriors and Chosens with great weapons ready to crack open that Dwarf defensive front line. Marauders with great weapons and regular ones. 8 of them in total. Yeah. Going on full infantry build with one single Chaos Warhounds at the back ready to jump the enemy backline. There are a couple, yeah, and Belacor in this guys, of course. And on the other side of the battlefield, pretty much the same build from the Dowie there. 2 gyros with brimstone guns to burn down enemy troops. Definitely shoot at those marauders, that would be good. And 3 cannons, 2 Trollhammer torpedoes, a bunch of crawlers, a line of Chaos Dwarf, regular Dwarf warriors, and 1 single miners with blasting charges, with a Grim Iron Fist leading the army, and a Runesmith support with Rune of Wrath and Ruin and Rune of Negation. That's all for the army built here. And very simple stuff from the Warriors of Chaos army. Just walk up. Walk up. Walk up as fast as possible and get into melee. We're gonna fast forward here, not much to see, other than the Chaos Warriors front line with the Chosens getting shot at by all kinds of firepower. Chosens taking a bunch of damage from the minus blasting charges, but getting into combat no issue at all with their heavy armor. And Warhounds jumping onto the cannons, knocking out one of their important ranged DPS. And this is where the lack of melee troops to protect the backline really comes in to bite those dwarfs at the back there. You can see a lot of the missile troops have been caught by Chaos Warriors, Chosens, or Marauders squeezing through the gaps in the defenses. There's just not enough melee troops to occupy the enemy, rushing army. And also a Pit of Shades, nuking some poor Quarrelers with that armor-piercing damage. Balakor jumping in, smashing apart those Trollhammer torpedo. More Marauders are just wrapping around the flanks there and getting into the back line with all their numbers there. The backline is completely open due to the lack of infantry in general. Only 5 units positioned in the front, and the back is completely open. Just needs a little bit more time for the Marauders to walk over, and they are absolutely compromising all of the missile troops on the Dowie side. There's not really much to talk about. Brimstone guns are just burning down those Chosens though. They might have armor, but damage is still damage over time. And those flamethrowers are doing well. But the problem is the rest of the Dwarf army just got pretty much hacked apart by those heavy great weapons, the heavy axes and maces and whatnot from those Chosen. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it there. We're just gonna fast forward here. Be'lakor is taking a bunch of damage from the crawlers and Trollherman torpedoes, I assume, and now also the brimstone guns. But he can now focus on chasing down the brimstone guns, leaving, yeah. And that is gonna be army losses. Is Spotify, let's see. UB Warriors of Chaos, Hype, Kislev. That would be fun. That would be fun. Okay, well, I'm fine with that. We have 27 people on the live, but only 10 likes. Let's see 27 likes. Yeah, it would be great if you guys can drop me a like. It will help with the video algorithm and also help with the channel to just push it a little bit more on YouTube. So we would really appreciate if you can drop a like, and I mean, if you probably are subscribed if you are on the stream, but yeah, drop a like and subscribe if you haven't done so. But yeah, back to the video, back to the replays. Be'lakor did okay, and the Chosen are unstoppable. They're nothing really to put to really stop their footsteps. The Dwarf Warriors are pretty much just a tougher speed bump, and yeah. Everything just got outclassed in melee, and the missiles, theoretically, they can do a bunch of damage, but because the front line didn't hold up for much time, the back line are quickly compromised, and also just not having enough troops to surround those missile assets. Alright, that is it for this battle. Let's delete that. Next up, we have a Tzeentch versus Greenskins. With, once again, we're seeing double Knights of, Doom Knights. Double Doom Knights. One of them, the Knight of Immolation. Ooh, is that a Changebringer? Anyways, we have a line of Zangors and the Feathered Prince. Oh, no, that's not the Feathered Prince. That's just a Demon Prince Tzeentch version. Two Screamers. One of them on the Shrieking Skyrays. Yeah, that's just a regular Demon Prince Tzeentch. Yeah, that is it for the Tzeentch army here. Nothing too out of the world other than the double Doom Knight. Now on the other side for the Greenskins, they're a line of Orc Boys, second line of oh, not second line, but like Roguelock's armored orcs. Leading the army is a Goblin Great Shaman on the Lava Spider plus a giant supporting him. At the back there for the mobility, a bunch of Squig Herds to try and I guess, try to jump on enemy horrors. And Broken Tusk Moth. Supported by a Black Orc Big Boss, which can give Rabble... oh, didn't have Rabble Rouse? He has immune to psychology though, being a Black Orc. Brass Cleaver. And yeah, that is it for the army builds here. Morgoth's Magic Marauders in the front actually missed out on that one once again. Trying to pick off some HP from the Demon Prince, and actually with a Vindictive Glare, actually get some damage, good damage done on the Demon Prince. He doesn't have healing, so yeah, that is good. That is definitely good stuff. But yeah, the Zangors would be quite tough for the Greenskin front line to deal with. Oh, hey, there's not only Orc Boys, but also Orc Biggins in the front line. Okay. With the Squig Herds providing some anti-infantry support, they should be able to crack those Zangors no problem. So it really comes down to the Shrieking Skyrays and Doom Knights to see whether the Tzeentch army can turn this one around. As there's not a lot of anti-large assets on those. Oh, and anti-air assets on the Greenskin side. As the Changebringers are moving in. Nothing really to threaten those Changebringers. Roguelock's Armored Orcs and the Mangy Marauders are the two only units that can fire into the sky. And they're knocking off some HP from the Changebringers. But here comes the Doom Knights trying to shut down those Mangy Marauders. And they are indeed successful in that attempt. The Demon Prince also jumps in and tries to take on the Lava Spider, but the Giant is coming in with that 700 weapon strength, a really big chunk of weapon strength even among monsters, and he's getting annihilated in the process. Oh god, the poor Feathered Prince. Although, to be fair, he doesn't have the most HP, but holy shit, he just got annihilated in that one. With the Y activating, getting that damage boost as well, but the poor Demon Prince, he's on the verge of crumbling. And a Vindictive Glare, that might just seal the deal here. Vindictive Nightmare causing the demonic instability crumble, and that kills the Tzeentch Lord. And the Tzeentch army is kind of starting to fall apart here. The Zangors are not holding on. And even one of the Doom Knights, as they were forced to fight in the middle of a bunch of broken task mob who are not debuffed by any armor debuffs, by the way. So yeah, their lack of armor piercing is gonna really hurt them in this fight. And as I said before, the Skrik Hurts are plus Orc Boys and Big Guns should be able to win out against enemy Zangors, no problem at all. At least the Chainbringers are trying to bring this one back. Shutting down that Goblin Great Shaman, and maybe if they can kill him, there's still a chance for Tzeentch. Actually, who am I kidding? It's probably over. The Screamers are demonic instability crumbling. There's only a full health Shrieking Skyrie still on the field, and the Chainbringers running out of ammo. And there's still a lot of Greenskins to kill. Yeah, that normal. Oh, that's normal. That's a normal spider, not a lava spider. Oh, ow, ow, ow! I thought it. Oh wait, I thought you can only bring lava spider. That might be my mistake. Sorry. A fine hit, as the Treebeard would say. Yeah, the Great Shaman is done for. Oh, the Knights of Immolation and the Shrieking Skyries are still around. If the Knights of Immolation can drop some flaming poop, then maybe. Oh, that's a big blob of enemy units. If the bombardment goes down, that's gonna hurt. Oh, that was a beautiful hit. A quarter of the Skrik Hurt gone here, and then 20% of the Skrik Hurt gone on that one. But yeah, that's still a lot of units for them to kill. And I don't think the rest of the Tzeentch army has the kind of staying power they need to bring this one back. There's still a lot of bombardment abilities, but the problem is that the Knights of Immolation needs to be in combat to charge up their ability. Yeah, recharges if engaged in melee. So, after they use it, so they don't have any good fights to just use their ability on. Well, Chainbringers stay too close to the enemy front line there, and the Manju Marauders and Rugluk's Armored Orcs are just picking them apart. Rhinomount is caught around the rock spider with Catwap Shrine, but it's the same as regular Ragnarok. Wait, I thought... that's weird. Oh wait, no, the Catwap Shrine is a different thing. Okay, yeah, Fedus. That is a fair one. Oh, Catwap Shrine. Oh, ow, ow. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, anyways, Doom Knights are whittled down, and the Changebringers are running for their lives, trying to stay away from the Mugros Manju Marauders. But, yeah, we gotta fast forward here, as the Greenskins are just holding that capture point. Manju Marauders are routed off as they are over chasing and without support. And the Doom Knights are just gonna jump them. Oh no, the Knights of Immolation should have done that. They could have charged up their, yeah, they could have tried to charge up their bombardment ability. Now they're trying to lure out enemy units, and yeah, I don't think the Greenskins can are gonna lose this one. I don't think the Tzeentch army can turn this one around. The Chainbringers did a lot of good damage, but losing the Demon Prince that early on in the game was a huge loss that the Tzeentch army was not able to recover from, because they lost their lord, they lost their spell casting, and that means they also lost their army ability as well, because they can't use any more magic. So they lose out a good chunk of the components that makes Tzeentch a decent faction, and they're fighting on a yeah, I think, and with one hand tied is definitely an understatement there. It's like they're tied to a chair with only one hand available to fight back anything coming close to them. All three of their other limbs are just tied to the chair. But yeah, yeah, the front line did well, just kind of crumped those Tangors, and yeah, the Goblin Great Shaman did some good work with the giant smashing apart that poor Demon Prince early on in the game. I actually need to quickly jump back in and see how did the Demon Prince died so fast. Is it friendly fire from the Changebringers actually? Because I remember the Changebringers are firing into the single entity fight as well. So gonna quickly have a look. And Royal's Armored Orcs and the Manju Marauders did quite a bit of damage against the Changebringers as well. Broken Tusk Mob did some really good damage fighting fighting and taking down those Doom Knights of Tzeentch in melee. But yeah. Let me just quickly jump back in. Just because I want to see what happened to the poor Demon Prince. But yeah, welcome everyone. For anyone who just joined our stream. Actually, we've been on 20 plus for a while, so most of you have been watching for a while. But yeah, it's a really good turnout on the stream as well. Usually we do like roughly 10 to 15. But it is once it's a really good turnout in general. But yeah, let's have a look at what happened with the poor Demon Prince on the far side there. Yeah, he got shot up by some Ruglux armored orcs for a bit and Mangy Marauders, and then the Changebreaks comes up, burn the Goblin Great Shaman, and then the Demon Prince jumps in, trying to take down the Goblin Great Shaman, and then the Giant comes in and starts smacking him. Oh, yep, that is a little bit of friendly fire from the Changebringers for sure. And then, oh, he tried to get out of there, turn around, but the Y is adding that 25%. Yep, that's a some friendly fire, but it's mostly the WA boosting, giving everything 25% damage boost. The Giant is like 875 HP, 875 damage per hit, and 600 plus from the Goblin Great Shaman as well. And Demon Prince doesn't have a whole lot of HP in total, and he just died right there. Yeah. There goes the guy. Yeah. That's a lot of damage. Don't underestimate the Giant, mate. I think they have one of the highest weapon strength in the game. Everything else is like 500 max. Like, okay, let's just quickly check the monsters. Like, stuff like a freaking 2,000 gold Kadai Destroyer only has 680 weapon strength. High Elves, Star Dragon, 580. Mammoth, that's a chunky beast too. A Mammoth, 525. Kolak Sun Eater, I think he is. He starts with 500 something as well. 600. Let's see. My favorite faction of all, Ogres. 480 on these Stone Horns and more Thunder Tusk. And Kari has 560. So I think what else? Let's see. Where are you? Shred of Lustria 750. That is. It takes a unit that has 3,007. Okay, maybe not 3,700. 3,000 plus to have a unit that has more weapon strength than the Giant at 700. So yeah, a Giant is definitely not to be underestimated with how good the weapon strength of that thing is. And then on a Greenskin at 1,400 gold, it has a slower speed. Roughly an infantry speed, 39. And a big freaking hitbox with light armor, so make it a bit of a glass cannon when it comes to being shot by missiles. But he has 700 armor piercing weapon strength, 500 of that armor piercing. If he is juiced up by WA and various melee attack buffs from the Greenskin roster, he can absolutely be a menace in a melee fight. Destroyer is okay against Slanesh and VC. Not much missiles, and there are monstrous units that can punch. There's a don't even try it pop from the Shaman somewhere in that damage too. Oh yeah, the don't even try it also has the direct damage too. Forgot about that, but didn't really look at it in the game. So yeah, a lot of good damage coming in. Just really trying to snipe out the Demon Prince, and that worked out. Don't even try it. That is increased cooldown. It also prevents enemy from casting spells for a good bit. Yeah, that comes in handy. 36 to 72 damage per second. 108. So let's say it average out 54 damage per second times 18 seconds. Yeah, that is 1,800 minus 58. So 972 damage in total with that spell. Wait, am I right? Yeah, I think it averages out at 1,972 damage with the cast. It can be a bit more, a bit less because of it. The damage can take is random, but I think it averages out around that. So that is a good chunk of HP gone from the Demon Prince as well. Yeah. Wait, I didn't realize it takes out 1,000 HP. Wait, fuck, that is quite a bit of damage with that spell. Oh boy. Yeah, that hurts quite a freaking bit. Holy shit. yeah, 9. Let's see how much the Spirit Leech kit does. Yeah, it does more damage than a Spirit Leech. Damn. And it has a cooldown. It has a cooldown debuff too. So yeah, that's pretty damning for it. That's pretty nasty for a damaging spell ability. Yeah, the Demon Prince only has 7,600 HP. He is not exactly a tanky monster in general. So yeah. That is a lot of damage coming in his way. That explains why he died so fast. Alright, next up, what else? Let's jump into this Khorne versus Dark Elves for a bit. The Khorne units, let's see. A pretty much similar build, a front line of Marauders with the Bloodwake Berserker, but this time we have the Knights of the Brazen Throne, 4 units of Khorne Furies and 2 Khorne Bulls with great weapons. Leading the army is our bull here. And on the other side is the Dark Elves of Ninja. A line of, a very similar build actually. A line of Bleak Swords backed up by some Dark Shards and a couple Witch Elves. With some Khorne Knights providing the armor-piercing anti-large. But this time there is the Slaanesh Harvester providing that Doom Bolt. No, not Doom Bolt. Word of Pain debuff to reduce enemy melee attack. And the Soul Stealer to do some direct damage and kill themselves. Oh, Dark Riders with repeater crossbows. Ready to do some kiting against Khorne. Morathi with one of Karaidon, Soul Stealer, and Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma. Of course, the one of Karaidon has already been used once on Arbol and chipping away some of his HP. On the far side, there is Slaanesh Harvester just charging into Knights of Brazen Throne, or being charged by Knights of Brazen Throne. Getting absolutely wrecked in the process. Probably want to drop that Soul Stealer and do something about it. Dropping a Word of Pain on the Knights of Brazen Throne, though, that is definitely a... Sorry about the lag on this map. It's a bit buggy. I probably should have taken it out of the map pool, but yeah, this map has a bug. It's probably still not fixed, and it's a bit choppy from time to time. But yeah, Knights of the Brazen Throne getting absolutely debuffed by the Word of Pain, down to only 23 melee attack, and are now tied down by the Khorne Knights. And the Knights of Brazen Throne shines from plowing through infantry because of their ability. They increase mass and speed as they are charging. So charging into cavalry is a bit of a waste of their value. And as you can see, they're not actually getting a good engagement with the Khorne Knights in tow. Anyways, Minotaurs are coming in to try and bail them out. So those Khorne Knights either have to bail out of there or they're gonna get slaughtered by the Khorne Bulls. Anyways, Bleak Swords duking it out against Marauders of Khorne, both sides taking some damage, while the Furies are moving in to distract those Dark Shards and forcing those Khorne Knights to react and charging into those Dark Shards and protect them. But even so, the Khorne Furies have done some pretty good damage overall. And now over here, Khorne Knights have been dealt with by being sandwiched between the Knights of the Brazen Throne, a hard place, versus a very hard-hitting fucking rock there. Minotaurs of Khorne slamming them in the back. Witch Elves, absolutely no problem clearing out those enemy Marauders whatsoever. The problem really are coming in from the Minos here, hacking down those Khorne Knights and still having some more steam to give. Dark Shards are being shut down. Witch Elves are going in to clean up those infantry size units. And oh, the problem is the Wrathmongers here. Oh boy, that is going to be a tough nut to crack. Even if the Witch Elves pops their Witch Brew, that is still... I still doubt they can really take down those Khorne Berserkers. But they are turning on their Witch Brew, but not having the greatest contact onto the enemy unit there. A lot of the Witch Elves are kind of stuck behind their own formation. So yeah, not exactly the best damage, but yeah. Anyways, Tzeentch Harvester coming back, but used up their Soul Stealer already, and the Knights of the Brazen Throne are hot in pursuit. Probably want to charge enemy infantry again. Their Valor comes in just plowing through enemy infantry with their charge impact damage, not in their prolonged melee prowess. But yeah, anyways, it's still a full health unit of Minotaur, so Khorne is definitely in a pretty good shape right now. Wrathmonger is cutting down the enemy Witch Elves, but they are not coming out of it unscathed for sure. And there's still a whole healthy Witch Elf unit with Witch Brew ready to go. So let's see who can take out. Which army can take out which army here? Khorne Knights, whether the Khorne Knights can take down those Minos, or will the Wrathmongers dominate the late game scenario here? Anyways, these Knights of Brazen Throne are still kind of inundated in an infantry melee fight, so they're now open to a counter charge from those Khorne Knights here. But Minos are here, and they're ready to just absolutely smack down everything in the vicinity. Soul Stealer though onto this huge blob of Khorne units, and that is very good cast here. But at the same time, oh no, the Witch Elves got. Oh wait, no, the Witch Elves. Oh, the Witch Elves got deleted from that beautiful cast of the Sword of Khorne there. Oh man, that whole unit could have done a whole lot more with the Witch Brew, but instead they just got deleted from the Sword of Khorne. I think that seals the deal. That is a nail in the coffin for the Dark Elves there. That was a beautiful, beautiful cast of the Sword of Khorne, waiting till the perfect moment. And nailing the coffin for those Witch Elves, and in turn the Dark Elves as well, as they have lost all their ground presence after that Sword of Khorne. And yeah, the Khorne Knights also getting taken down in that counter charge from those Minos. GG, very well played from General Spotify there, holding on to that Sword of Khorne till the very last second, and sealing the deal there by deleting those Witch Elves, which could have still have a lot more to give because of that Witch Brew holding on to the late game, but that Sword of Khorne denied them from using it, and the Minotaur sealing the deal by cutting down those Khornes. And the Knights of the Brazen Throne, as much as I talk shit about them this round, they actually did really well. After all, they are still a Crusher unit, a regiment of Renowned Crusher that can do a lot of damage in melee fights still, and a lot of armor as well. So a lot of melee stats, a lot of armor still. So yeah, they definitely managed to outgrind everything that was thrown in their way, being an anchor that allowed the Minotaurs to come in and finish off the Khorne Knights, and then once again absorbing the charge of the Khorne Knights in the late game, in the very final engagement, allowing the other Minos to come in and countercharge the enemy Khorne cavalry. Arbo didn't really do a whole lot, honestly, but really the Knights of Brazen Throne and the Minos carrying the game. These are not Bloodwake Berserkers, these are just regular Wrathmongers, and they are still doing good. Got some good damage. And for the Dark Elves Ninja here, Morathi did some good damage with a Soul Stealer and whatnot, and one of Caradon. But unfortunately, the missiles didn't do a whole lot. Not a lot to protect them from the Furies, and if anything, the Tzeentch Harvester should have been held back to fight the Furies, because they have magic attacks which bypass Furies' physical resistance, and on top of that, they have anti-infantry bonus that would be really good against infantry. Oh, it's just a Khorne Lord. Oh, sorry. Sometimes I mix up the Khorne Lord and Arbold because they all have a very similar metal helmet. Yes, I'm making excuses. Don't call me out on that, please. Thank you. Yeah, Tzeentch Harvester with that anti-infantry bonus and magical damage would be really good against the infantry size infantry size Chaos Furies. But yeah, Khorne Knights did their best, but yeah, Dark Riders getting caught in the skirmish fight was not helpful for them. But yeah, that is gonna be GG here with Khorne taking the win on this one, proving that Khorne is still a superior God of War, compared to Cain. I get it, they both useless. Oh, poor Arbold. To be compared to the regular Chaos Lord. Alright, next up, let's stay away from the Khorne and Dark Elves for a bit. Let's go into a Tzeentch versus Dwarfs this one. Tzeentch going with a very fiery build here. 2 Exalted Flamers for their Vortex missiles. That their missile, their flamer that spawns vortexes after the fiery tornadoes after their projectile landed on the ground. Alright, so army builds. 2 Exalted Flamers, a line of Zangors, and some pink horse backing them up as well. In the Sky Screamers of Tzeentch. Leading the army is once again the Changeling, supported by a metal caster. Flick of Rust and Searing Doom, while Changeling is going to transform into Grimgor Ironhide. Once again, we are seeing Grimgor going up against Grim Iron Fist. Without the support of the Crimson Killers, can he do it against Grim again this time? We shall see. And also being a fake Grimgor. Not the most orky one. We shall see. Anyways, for the Dwarfs, seems like they have adjusted their build a bit with the Miners Vanguard deployed, but mostly it's the same thing. Bunch of Crawlers, Dwarf Warriors, and a couple of Trollhammer torpedoes, triple cannons, and 2 Brimstone guns in the skies. And yeah, that's it. But oh no, yeah, this is the one thing to worry about bringing choppers into any Chaos faction is Furies, and in Tzeentch they even have Screamers. That's gonna be a lot of nuisance for your Brimstone guns to deal with, because all they need to do is just to get an attack order onto the Brimstone guns. Oh, oof. Okay, that's some friendly fire incidents. Exalted Flamer automatically shooting at the gyrocopter, but at the same time, because the projectile made contact, it spawned some fire tornadoes and took out some Dangos on the ground. Friendly fire incident. But yeah, all the Screamers need to do is get an attack order on those gyrocopters, and the gyrocopters will basically be disabled for the whole game because they have to run away, and they don't have 360 shooting. So while they're running away, they can't turn around and fire back. And the meantime, they're just constantly running with the Screamers just keeping them on the run, and just 2 units. That's how the whole gyrocopter being disabled. But anyways, at the same time here, the Exalted Flamer have made their way into range and now launching their shots into the Crawlers, spawning those fiery tornadoes, taking out good chunks of these armored dwarfs. The Iron Drakes were shooting at the Dangors. Oh no, they're supposed to be shooting at the Exalted Flamers. That is their priority target, because that's the best unit that can take out all those dwarf armored infantry formation. And now the Iron Drakes are caught in melee as they're deployed in front. A little bit of mistake in the army deployment as well. The Dwarf Warriors should be shielding the Trollhammer torpedoes from enemy melee units, not the other way around. So the Trollhammer torpedoes are engaged in melee. They need to pull out of the fight there, but yeah, I don't think they can do it in time. And all the Crawlers are just annihilated, deleted by those fiery tornadoes. Grimgor / Changeling duking it out against. Oh, wow! I almost got blinded by those fiery shots there from the Exalted Flame. But yeah, Grimgor going up against Ungrim, the Duel of the Ages, and looks like the fake Grimgor might be taking a chunk of damage, as Ungrim do have a good chunk of his abilities and items ready to go. Though Urinex dropping his melee attack and defense, equalizing the fight a bit, and the fake Grimgor is still orkier, there's still fightier than Ungrim looks like, as Ungrim is slowly losing it. He is a very much anti-large specialist, and Grimgor isn't large despite being, well, much larger than the usual orc and even a horse. So yeah, the fake Grimgor is beating up Ungrim, and the rest of the Dwarf army is also deleted by the Exalted Flamers with nothing to really shut them down. So we're just gonna fast forward here as the Dwarf formation is slowly being taken out, and army losses hits. That is gonna be GG here. Not much to really say. The gyrocopters got taken out quite early, and the cannons, plus all the missiles here, unfortunately is a bit mismicroed by the Dwarf player. Mispositioned, and quickly getting compromised by all kinds of melee troops from the other side there. Exalted Flamer and the Screamers getting some really good value, and the Zangors are, I mean, they are grind down by a bunch of miners and Oh, the miners didn't do a whole lot, but yeah, they grind down by a bunch of missiles and dwarf warriors. But overall, it's the dwarf army is just a little bit imbalanced in the missile versus melee troops ratio, I would say. All right, next up, now let's go for the Warriors of Chaos versus Dark Elves. Get some different matchups going on here. Hayseed once again going with some Nurgle magic. Yeah, Nurgle magic with Fleshy Abundance with some very expensive cavalry here. 3 Rot Knights, one of them the Rotting Riders and a Knights of Brazen Throne. So a lot of expensive cavalry on the Warriors of Chaos side with healing support as well. 5 units of Marauders with 1 Forsaken. And what else? I think that is it for the main army. There's a lot of some hounds as well. So a lot of expensive mobility and some cheap chaff. Then the Lord, which is a Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle with Nurgle magic. Fleshy Abundance for the healing. And did not bring the Crown of Everlasting Conquest, so no passive healing for himself. Just going all in on buffing those, healing those expensive cavalry. On the other side for the Dark Elves, a single Khorne Chariot there. Interesting. A little bit of armor piercing missile and also just cycle charging ability with anti-infantry potency. Khorne Knights on the flanks there, front line of Black Corsairs. Finally a different formation this time from the Dark Elves. Alright, yeah. Oh wow, that's a lot of damage from the one of Caradon. Knock out a quarter of his HP. Oh boy, that hurts. Yeah, and frontline wise, Sisters of Slaughter, Black Corsairs backed up by a bunch of Dark Shots. No Sisters of, no Witch Elves this time. And Khorne Knights charging into Rot Knights, and they're definitely losing this fight here. With more Rot Knights coming into the Rotting Riders even. Immediately annihilating the poor Khorne Knights here, as they are outclassed in every single aspect in this fight here. Both of them have anti-large, so the anti-large is not really consequential here. And they don't have healing, they have less melee stats. And they have less stats all over the board, and quickly got taken out by the superior cavalry. Of course, in return, there's less investment in the Chaos Infantry, so they're getting cut down by all those Black Corsairs. But the flanks-wise, all those Knights of the Brazen Throne and Rot Knights are doing super well. Absolutely taking down all those Khorne Knights, no problem at all. And at this point, there's no stopping for this expensive cavalry force of Warriors of Chaos here, of Undivided. The Chaos Sorcerer Lord has taken quite a bit of damage, down to half health already. But he already casted the healing onto the Knights of Brazen Throne, putting them back up to 75% of HP. And the backline, oh, there's one lone Hargan of Executioner. They're just gonna get bullied by cavalry, unfortunately. Just like these Dark Shards. Absolutely getting run down by Rot Knights, and they have no hope in taking them down whatsoever, with nothing to support them. Khorne Chariots are being bogged down by Rotting Riders, and oh boy, here comes the Rotting Riders. The Rot Knights riding downhill straight into the flank of these Dark Shards, and Chaos Warhounds jumping onto the Dark Shards as well. That shuts down the Dark Shards, and all that's left for the Dark Elves are their infantry, their melee infantry. And as we all know, melee infantry is not exactly a meta thing to have. Especially when there's the Knights of the Brazen Throne here. I just want to see a clean charge of them onto some poor Dark Elves, man. Please give me that. But yeah, Constant One of Caradon is definitely working down the HP of the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. Not really constant per se, you only have 2 casts, but yeah. Heavy targeting onto the Chaos Sorcerer Lord is going to take him out soon, but I don't think that really matters here. The Knights of the Brazen Throne and the Rotting Riders, Rot Knights, are in a very dominant position here, with nothing really to stop them on the Dark Elf side. They're just gonna get Psycho Charged to death, and the Rot Knights here, I mean, they're weakened, but they still have some healing to go. And they're going after Marathi. Please give me a clean charge of these bad boys. Rotting Riders downhill charge onto the Hargan of Executioner, doing some good damage, but here comes the Knights of the Brazen Throne. Did they turn on the charge? Murderous charge recharging in 1 second. They already used it. Wow. They did a lot of good damage already. And Rotting Riders, they are a bit bogged down on the Hargan of Executioners, taking some damage. But the good thing about Rotting Riders and Rot Knights in general is that they have healing. they have passive healing. So even without their lord, they can just sit back and rest a bit and recharge their health. These guys getting 1,300 gold worth of damage value. These guys 1,800, and oh, that is a beautiful charge. Just looking them plowing through all those poor Black Corsairs. I mean, we only caught the tail end of it, but we saw those Black Corsairs kind of flying through the air for a bit there, with their murderous charge. So yeah, I think we can just fast forward at this point. And yeah, that is gonna be GG. And Grimgor wins indeed. Grimgor always wins. If he's running away from a fight, he's just retreating and waiting to. No, he's not retreating. He's just got bored, and so he's just decided to go fight somewhere else. He's not losing a fight or anything. No way. But yeah, anyways, yeah, the expensive cavalry really paid off. The Khorne Knights really couldn't stop it. Just got outclassed entirely in those fights, and with all the cavalry protecting the flanks, the infantry fall victim to all kinds of charging. The Hargoneth Executioners put up a really good fight though, dragging down all the Rot Knights when they were a bit stuck in the middle of them, but unfortunately that was not enough. And they have been ticking down pretty quickly. Oh, wait. Yeah, Morathi did a lot of good damage with the Rowan of Caradon and the Soul Stealers and whatnot, but oh wait, no, Melkovs to drain down the enemy expensive cavalry, but unfortunately that was not enough to turn the tables. And yeah, GG. And yeah, not enough stuff to protect the Dark Shots. Unfortunately, they got quickly compromised by Warhounds and all those cavalry. Alright, next up we have let me just delete this one. Alright, let's not end this on a kite game. Let's quickly watch a kite here. General Spotify going with Skarbrand and Karanak. Rampaging and silencing. Plus a bunch of infantry are 3 marauders, 1 warriors with halberds. Blackwake Berserker, 2 Furies and Cornballs. 2 units of Cornballs, but they're probably gonna get kited heavily. As the other side have 4 horse archers, 1 light horse lads, a line of Kislev warriors, and a bunch of armored Kossars at the back there. Interesting formation, I guess, just putting the chaff in front so that the armored Kossars, which are more durable and can hold in the late game, while using their pistols in the early game. Kossovite dervishes, and leading the army is a Tsarina Katerin there, with Death Frost to drain down the enemy single entities, and Ice Sheet to slow enemy down. So we are gonna fast forward this one. As we are going to be seeing a kiting here. Furies are trying to tie down the enemy horse archers and maybe trying to catch them, but alas, one of them got countercharged by horse archers while the rest of the Khorne army is just a little bit out of position, and then they got picked out. Now, Skarbrand did a really nice, cool charge here. Spotify did well with the charge, dropping the Rage Embodied and luring everything into the fight, but at the same time, he is pretty much surrounded on all fronts. Fighting an anti-large target, and a lot of horse archers just soaking up hits for the Tsarina Katerina as well. Pray of the Blood God, and the Karanak is in the vicinity, denying any spell casting for any further, but Skarbrand is taking a lot of damage in the process. Final Souls of Khorne charged in, but they're now stuck in the middle of a bunch of Kislevite warriors, and Tsarina Katerin still locked down by the Prayer of the Blood God, but it's gonna wear off soon, and then Tsarina is free to run off, while the horse archers are just gonna focus him down, Skarbrand down, alongside pistol support as well. Manholes they're all pretty much stuck in the melee fight here, unable to really do anything about all those pistols, and now Skarbrand is in a bit of a pickle. He is trying to chase after Tsarina Katerin, but he's a bit too slow here. Slowed down by Death Ice Sheet, and also hit by Death Frost, and being shot by pistols, archers, and light war slides. Everything is just piling onto Skarbrand exiled here, and he is near crumbling territory. Blackwake Berserkers still have a lot of steam, but oh, Relentless Rage, nice call. Just trying to deny that, trying to delay that demonic instability crumble as long as possible, and maybe buy a bit more time for the Rage Embodied to charge up. and use it one last time. But alas, I think Skybrand goes out. Oh, wait, hold on. Rage Embody has popped, getting Tsarina Katerin stuck in the fight. But oh no, the demonic instability crumbles, kills Skybrand and takes him down. And Tsarina Katerin is no longer demonic. It's no longer enraged because the user of the enragement aura is dead. So he is free. She is free to run away from the fight once more, and there's really nothing to shut her down. Karanak maybe, but she's way too far away from Tsarina Katerin. So yeah, things are looking quite grim for Khorne. Oh, although balance of power is in their favor. Blackwake Berserker is duking it out against all those infantry and getting some pretty good good work done. The problem is that some of that Khorne balance of power is propped up by the Flesh Hounds, which is gonna promptly disappear in half a minute. And Karanak is very weak to any kind of skirmishing fire. He is very light in armor, relying pretty much on. He does have 25% of physical, 25% of missile resistance, and another 20% of physical resistance. That's 45% of damage reduction. But still, very light armor means that the damage will add up over time. Now, Tsarina Katerin is trying to bide her time in the forest, and I guess Karanak is trying to run all the way around and try to catch up to her. But things are looking quite grim as Karanak is taking more and more skirmishing damage, while the Bloodwake Berserker is kind of lagging behind, not really in the position to shut down any of these shooting. Oh, looks like the Prey of the Blood God managed to finish off Tsarina Katerin before she can actually cast a Death Frost. The problem is there's still a lot of skirmishing on the field, and Khorne only has infantry left. So let's see what happens here. As the Bloodwake Berserkers deletes those armored Kossars outright, but the rest of the Marauders are being jumped by all kinds of mobility and missiles. So that leaves only the Bloodwake Berserkers in the fight. And they're making their way back to the capture point. Although the Bloodwake Berserkers is little by little being whittled down by all the archers and guns, and that basically pushes them into army losses by over time, just slowly whittling them down. But it was a very close battle indeed, with two very good uses of Rage Embody from General Spotify, catching Tsarina Katerin both times. I really like the use of the Relentless Rage too, just denying that Demonic's instability crumble, but it's just a few seconds too early, which means there's a few seconds. Which means Skybrand has a few seconds less to take down Tsarina Katerin, allowing Katerin to stay alive at 41 HP in the end, and surviving for a good couple more minutes. If she died earlier, things might be a lot different, with more stuff breaking earlier than usual. But yeah, Katerin survived a little longer there, barely, but still surviving for a little longer, allowing those Kislevite troops to fight a little longer too, and managed to drag down those Khorne infantry assets and also bring down Skybrand and Karanak, and in the end using the sheer amount of missile fire to whittle down Bloodwake Berserkers and the Khorne Halberd warriors from afar. They're very good in melee, so the best way to take them down is just not fight them in melee and shoot them down instead. And the Horse Archers did some really good work over time. Truly, the bane of Khorne, Kite. Denying them from what they do best, denying them from melee combat. Alright, one final battle, Greenskins versus Vampire Coast here. Curio versus Zigos. Can the Wire take down... Oh, freaking... That is a quadra bloat scenario here. Look at those 4 bloated corpses versus the Greenskins. Greenskins here coming in with an Orc Shaman with leader of Grom the Punch. Haven't seen him in a while. He does have healing, so he is less susceptible. He is way less susceptible to any kind of Spirit Leech or direct damage spells. Anyways, Orc boys in the front line backed up by a ton of archers. Orc air boys, 3 of them actually, not a ton, but quite a substantial amount. Stone trolls and some Skrik herds on the flank to jump onto enemy gun lines, and bring them down. But speaking of gun lines, giants will be very susceptible to that, so you have to be careful with that. Orc Shaman coming in with Foot of Gork and Fist of Gork. Oh, coming in with the limbs of Gork. That is the set. Oh man, if they have an Headbutt as well, they have the fire. They have the Exodia of Gork. They have the hands, and they have the legs, and they have the head as well. True Exodia experience. But anyways, yeah. Don't worry about it if you don't know Yu-Gi-Oh. That's a Yu-Gi-Oh reference. Anyways, Death Creeper is coming in with their skirmishing fire, but immediately being shot back by a bunch of pistol summons and Lamprey's Revenge as well. I think it's a bit premature to to drop these pistol summons, but I guess they can do some damage to the Death Creepers. Oh, on the other side, on the Vampire Coast side though, a front line of Death Gods with pole arms. Holy shit, that's some very elite front line, expensive too. Some pirate deckhand mobs, just melee stuff, and pistol mobs at the back there, just bring in more pistol fire. The Quadra Bloat that we have already talked about, but Ground the Punch, if he can just squeeze in and trigger those explosions from the bloated corpses, that will deny the Vampire Coast from any effective use of these kamikaze bombers. And other than that, yeah, Lamprey's Revenge leading the army is a Vampire Fleet Admiral with polearms, with Drown That Summon and Invocation of Neck. Ground the Punch is quickly running away from the animated Hulks before he is get stuck in a melee fight. But yeah, other than that, I think that's all for the Vampire Coast army. Oh, alright, animated Hulks on both sides. And oh wait, some Scurvy Dogs hidden in the tree line, and the Greenskins are just biding their time. Throwing in Ground Punch here, trying to get some damage out right early, but oh, looks like he is a bit stuck on the animated Hulks. Trying to push through, but he's only slowly inching forward. They're disrupting the Vampire Coast formation though. And the Greenskins are certainly just chilling here. While the Death Creeper is taking quite a bit of damage from the pistols, decided to hold back and regenerate a bit, as they do have that regeneration trait to heal. Now the summoned zombie pistol mobs is now just pushing forth, trying to get some damage done before they crumble into dust again. Not doing a whole lot of damage, but I guess it's something. It's not a whole lot. But yeah, Ground the Punch will be pulling back, and Kurio just chilling with the Greenskin army. Not really rushing in. Not really in a rush to take the fight to the enemies, especially now that the enemy does have the high ground on an uphill position. Just gonna do some fast work, as it seems to be both sides are taking this fight very patiently. And finally, the Greenskins are activating, pushing up the Orc Air Boys to try and rain down some fire on the enemy front line, and maybe trying to lure them out of their position, force them to push up, and seems like the Vampire Coast is responding to that. Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs are pushing forth, and oh, whoops, let's do normal speed. Bloody Reaver Gods took some damage. Oh, looks like a Foot of Gork is coming in. Can it do the damage? Oh no, looks like oh, still does some good damage to the Pirate Gunner Pistol mob and the regular melee mob. I don't know if it's worth the spell. It's a very expensive spell with a lot of Winds of Magic cast. So if it's not on the Bloody Reaver deck guards, it's probably not gonna be worth it. But either ways, still decent. You're leaving the high. It's over half the high ground, but you're leaving the high ground now, indeed. And Bloody Reaver deck guards are jumping into melee fight in the against the Orc Boys. They should be able to beat down the Orc Boys, no problem. They took some damage, but they do have the hunger healing. And the Orc Boys are pushing up. Animated Hulks are gonna duke it out against Stone Trolls, and Stone Trolls, having regeneration and just a better monster in general, should be able to beat them down, no problem. And Orc Boys are rushing in. And in this kind of melee fight, Greenskins do have the advantage. Scurvy Dogs are gonna jump. Oh, looks like a beautiful bloated. Oh, explosions all over the front line. How am I missing all these? And more bloated. Are there more bloated corpses? Oh no, did I miss all the bloated corpses? Fuck, I'm very disappointed in myself. I'm gonna recast this. Sorry. I'm very disappointed in myself. Let me just jump back in. How can I miss all four? There are 4 freaking explosions, and I miss almost every single one of them. I need to jump back in. You miss all the friendly fire. Yep. That's also something I want to capture as well. Ah, man. All right, let's jump back in once again. Micro issue indeed. Like sometimes I just kind of get hyper focused on different spots, on a particular spot of the battle, and forget about the rest. And that's also like a problem with my micro in general. I got fixated in one part of the battlefield, forgot about the rest, and then I just got fucked over by it. Yeah, not great. Not proud of that. Not proud of that at all. So I'm just gonna quickly fast forward and keep my eye on some of the bloated. Aster outskilled. No! Don't call me out like that. Don't call me out like that. But yeah, anyways, bloated corpses. Oh yeah, run the punch to try to ease the bloated corpse a bit, but realize it's not worth it to risk getting stuck in a bunch of Lamprey's revenge, so he retreated. And now the archers move up and forcing, yeah, pressuring the vampire coast to push forth. And bloated corpse on one side. The squick hurts. Oh, that looks like it. Here comes the Fluid of Gork and hitting the zombie Paradechan mobs and countering mobs as well. All four of the bloated are not activating. 1, 2, 3. Oh, here comes the first bloat. Exploding in the middle of a bunch of squickers. That is not bad. Not bad. I mean, I don't think it's worth, but I don't think it's too bad either. At least it did some damage. Better than nothing, I guess. And also routed the squickers, and now the pistols are doing a bit more damage. And the 3 more bloats on the field. 3 more bloats. But yeah, the front lines are going. Frontline fights are ongoing. All squickers are coming in. But they're charging straight into the pistol mob, so the explosions. And boom! Straight up deleted the pistol mobs. Did more friendly fire than actual damage. And here comes the rest of the 2 bloats. One jumps into the orc boys. And also delete outright the pistol mobs. And oh shit! This one just simply blow up the freaking pole arm deck and death guards. What the fuck? Just knocked out 1/3 of the unit. Poor vampire. I think that quadrat blow just killed. Might have the Greenskins might actually defeat the vampire coast thanks to all those well-placed explosions. It's okay, it happens. I forgot an entire unit of chosen for half the battle against dwarves. Oh, that happened, right? Oh, I mean, those dwarves are no, those chaos chose. Yeah, those chosen are. I thought they were capturing the capture point. That was not intentional. Okay, never mind then. Yeah. Anyways, animated hulks are jumping into the fight, but I think the stone trolls would have an upper hand in those melee fights. Emperor's Revenge are grinding down those orc boys here, but oh, looks like there's another foot of Gork stomping some Bloody Reaver Death Guards and Scurvy Dogs, but also did a bunch of friendly fire to the orc air boys, and I think that probably did more friendly fire. I don't know. Anyways, those orc air boys are shattered. And now the stone trolls are a bit stuck in the middle of a bunch of Bloody Reaver Death Gods. Night Terrors are fighting against large targets, so it's not exactly a great fight for them. Stuck against a bunch of squickers, but oh, Giants over here trying to slap down a bunch of enemy troops, but being surrounded by Death Gods and a bunch of shotguns, shotgun crabs. It's not great for this monster. So a lot of damage taken on the Giant side. But yeah, overall, Bonds of Heart is still in the Greenskin favorite simply because they didn't explode on their own troops 4 times. Yeah. And maybe 3 times because the first bloated corpse explosion was solely on the Squickherds. But yeah, the Squickherds are trying to do their best to grind down the Night Terrors here. But yeah, the Giant is not having a good time. They don't have any access to heal while the Lamprey's Revenge are regenerating. Same goes for the Death Gods, who does have the Hunger healing as they're fighting the good fight. Orc Shaman, maybe if you have another... Can you squeeze out another foot of Gork? It might be very useful against the Death Gods, because the Vampire Coats are healing, not the Greenskins aren't. maybe the stone trolls are, but they are now chased down by scurvy dogs, and they're not coming back. There's no assets on the greenskin side to save and secure and save these stone trolls. So the stone trolls are out of the game. Ground Punch is trying to take down the scurvy dogs and bail out the stone trolls who are still routing, and they're very close to the white line. I don't think that Ground Punch can save this one. But yeah, at least Squig Herds using their sheer numbers are grinding down the Night Terrors, but there's still 2 units of Death Gods still holding the fight, and they are now they've taken out the Orc Shaman. Oh no, their best bet in taking out the Death Gods, one last foot of Gork cast. Oh no, that might not happen because the Orc Shaman is routed. The Giant is doing his best, earning back his worth and then some more, 50% more than his cost, with his great armor-piercing weapon strength, but unfortunately surrounded by shotgun mobs. He can only do so much here. And the Scurvy Dogs was survived, and Grom the Paunch was not able to deny them from claiming those Stone Trolls here. The Scurvy Dogs will be committed to see those Stone Trolls off. Ground Punch is still healing, but but unfortunately most of his assets are gone. The Death Creepers are sitting there. They already hit their heal cap, having 18 models. All of them are at full health, unable to heal anymore. So I'm gonna fast forward here. As the Squigs are being routed, and things are not looking great. Oh, that was a good charge from Ground Punch though, taking out a good chunk of those Death Gods, but now he's absolutely stuck in the middle of a bunch of animated hulks, trapping him in the fight and preventing him from pulling out of the shotgun range. So yeah, Squigs are being committed to try and bail him out, screen out some of the enemy troops, and Death Creepers continues to dish out their damage, using their poison as well to whittle down the enemy melee stats and yeah. But yeah, Blood Reaver Death Gods coming in, and Ground Punch is still struggling to pull out of the fight. Balance of power is in favor of the Vampire Coast. Seems like the explosions might have caused friendly fire, but that did not matter. The Vampire Coast are still going to dominate this battle here. They might have lost the capture point as well, but Armulus is hit and they shall dominate the victory with a significant lead in balance of power and capture points. The Vampire Lord is dead. Oh, now I've noticed, but neither did Sigos. Wait. What happened? Oh, that must have been the Giant slapping him down, I think. I'll jump back in to watch it once more, but overall, very good, well played by the, very well played by the Vampire Coast there. Bringing this one back with their self-regenerating troops with the Death Gods, one of them, the Bloody Reaver Death Gods, and also the Lamprey's Revenge, with a sheer tenacity. I don't know, dude just vanished, lol. That's what happened if you got slapped by something with 700 armor pierce, 500 armor piercing weapon strength, 700 in total. Yeah, that's what happens. And also surrounded by Bloody Reaver Death Guards. Giant body hit him. Giant body him instantly. Giant with Fist of Gork happened. Yeah, that does happen. Especially with the melee stat buffs from the Greenskins army, and also Wa too. But yeah, Lamprey's Revenge did a lot of damage as well, and same goes for the Death Gods. And the most important thing here, the Scurvy Dogs, chasing off all those Greenskin units, especially the very key thing, taking out those Stone Trolls, chasing them, preventing them from coming back and regenerating. The Scurvy Dogs might not have gotten the most insane value, but they have earned back their worth and then some more, and more importantly, securing those routes on the Stone Trolls, getting some really good work done here, and leaving only Grom the Paunch regenerating himself and the Death Creepers, but none of them have the power to carry the battle in this kind of late game scenario, and that shall be victory for the Vampire Coast there with their own regenerating units. The Giant really did some really good work here, but unfortunately just not quite enough to carry the game. This Giant would kick Tyson's ass. I think a lot of the Warhammer beings can kick Tyson's ass, honestly. Alright, let's just quickly fast forward, and then we'll call it a night. because I got some gacha to do later today. I've been sucked into a gacha game lately. A relatively popular one, a very popular one lately. I'm not gonna talk about it too much because I know not everyone here is a weeb like I am. So yeah, yeah, I've been paying way too much attention in gacha games lately. Yeah. But yeah, gambling is not good. Don't be like me. Yeah. Let me just speed run this. Oh, yep, that is exactly what I'm playing. Yes. The horse racing game. It's addicting. What happens if you put gambling with more gambling together? The ultimate gambling addiction. It's like the Japanese are like, what happens if we put gambling with another gambling addiction and add waifus on top of that? Trotting leech. Nah. Weeaboo leech, if anything. Yeah, and the good thing about the game is it's actually a good game. The story writing. Oh wow, the giant is slapping those Lamprey's Revenge. The story writing of the game is really good, actually. All the characters are well written with their own inspirations, their challenges, their growth throughout their own story arcs. Fuck, I'm getting a bit too deep in this shit. But yeah, yeah, the giant is bodying the guy. Oh man, the Fist of Gore coming in really handy. Because the Vampire Fleet ammo is on foot, he doesn't have a lot of HP either. 500 armor piercing is more than 10% of weapon strength. Virtual dog races? Nah, mate, you don't get it. You don't get it. What happens if the racers are waifus, right? But anyways, yeah. Oh wow, fuck. That was a big hit with the Wa juicing up. Oh right, yeah. Wa is a 25% weapon damage boost, and that puts him to 875 weapon strength, and base 625 armor piercing, and a good chunk. So that's like 20% of HP per hit. Oh fuck. Oh no. And there's armor wait, no, there's no anti-infantry bonus. Never mind. But yeah. That hits so hard. 20%, almost 20% HP per hit. Absolutely slapping the shit out of the Vampire Fleet Admiral. 2 hits and he went from 15% HP to almost dead. And then he barfed with bad breath and he blocked that hit. But the Orc Boys are still hitting him, and that sealed the deal. Yeah, yep. He just got melted. Absolutely bodied by the freaking giant. Greenskins giant, best giant confirmed for sure. He has the most access to different buffs. The other giants don't. Very unfortunate. But the Chaos Giant, the Warriors of Chaos Undivided Giant, has access to healing, which the Greenskin Giant doesn't, which comes in really handy. The other giants, well, fuck them. They don't have any support. But yeah, the Greenskin Giant is probably the best in terms of damage value, but the Warriors of Chaos and Nurgle Giant too. Nurgle Giant is great. They have poison. They have actually the second best giant is probably Nurgle Giant because 1, they have poison. 2, they have the Nurgle faction melee defense buff, and 3, they have fleshy abundance and fecundity. 2 very nice healing ability to keep them healthy. Was that a shotgun friendly fire that did the last hit? Maybe. That might be the case. I didn't really catch that. But he just disappeared under a bunch of bodies. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today here. I'm gonna go and do some horse racing gacha. And yeah, I'll see you all next week. I hope you all enjoyed this tournament. And the turnout of today's tournament is really good. And both in terms of players in the tourney and also in terms of viewers on stream. So really appreciate everyone showing up for support, and just hope you all had a good time, whether you're playing the game or watching the gameplay. And yeah, we'll be back with more multiplayer action next week. And if you haven't liked the video, do hit the like button. It would help the algorithm and promote the channel a bit more. And yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Godspeed to my horses. Yep, thank you. Yeah, it's been really fun. Yeah. Anyways, that's all for me today, and I wish you all a great rest of the week, and I'll see you all next week. Thank you for watching, and yeah, I'll catch you all later. Tactical Lich signing out.